Today we're checking out a channel called Hoodie Guy. And what does Hoodie Guy be talking about? I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
These are 4 animals you didn't know were best friends.
Talk to
First,
me.
ravens and wolves work together to hunt, where ravens will fly
I think I heard about
around
this.
looking for prey. Then flying back to the wolves, getting their attention and
See, this is what I'm saying, bro. If ravens and wolves work like this, imagine me as a parrot, bro. This is what I'm saying. If ravens and wolves are already doing it, get me in the paint, bro. Get me in the paint.
leading them to the animal they saw, waiting for the kill and sharing the meal. Next, hermit crabs and anemone basically team up together to survive.
An anemone?
Since an anemone can't move fast, the crab will pick it up and equip it on its shell. The
What does it
anemone
do,
helps
though?
defend the crab with its stinging tentacles, while the crab gives it much faster transportation and also shares scraps of its food every time it eats.
Oh, that's
coyotes
raw.
and badgers hunt together.
Bro, if crab and anemone are working like these, imagine Waka Waka Moon v Parrot. Bro.
Since coyotes are better at covering ground and badgers are better underground, the coyote will chase the prey on land, and if it goes under, the badger will take over.
I want to
leaving
see
the
that
prey with
happening.
no
Like, I
options
want
or
to see
ways
that.
to
I want to
escape,
see them in the
sharing their
mix,
meal.
actually doing
Finally,
it.
humans and wild dolphins in Brazil work together to catch
Oh.
fish. The dolphins will find a
Okay.
school of fish and herd them towards the fishermen. When the fish are close, the dolphin will slap the water with its tail, signaling the fishermen to cast the net, causing the fish to scatter and get disorientated, so it's easier for the dolphins to catch.
I mean, that's cool, but it's not as cool as a parrot. And that's not as cool as me as a parrot. Like, that's kind of cool, I guess. What if, like, the dolphin waving his fin is not, like, saying, hey, you go, twin. You got this. Let's eat. They're like, come on, bitch. Hey, slave, do my work. Make it easy for me. You know, knowing dolphins, that's how they think, bro. Dolphins aren't good. They're terrible people. Yes, people with a P, bro. Dolphins would make horrible humans. Would they make horrible humans? Or would they fit right in? Hold on.
The Titanic was a lot more horrifying than you thought, and was far worse than what you learned. But why? First off, you would be sleeping when it hit the iceberg, waking
Right.
up to a loud bang and shake in the middle of the night. And at
Wow,
first, you
bang and
wouldn't even-
shake, you know, on a cruise. That's all you hearing at nighttime. All it is banging and shaking, you know what I'm saying? I'm taking my tail right back to sleep.
realize what happened. Most people going back to sleep thinking nothing of it. And only
Exactly.
20 minutes later, you would start to hear
Did I see a black person on the boat? No.
commotion in the halls, being told to go to the top deck immediately. Still in your night clothes, thinking it was some kind of drill. At this point, the crew already knew the ship was going down, but you wouldn't even know it yet, only feeling a very slight tilt in the
Oh,
ship.
that's
On the top
crazy.
deck, they would try to keep you distracted by playing music while
Yo, imagine being told to play music while y'all are dying. Guys, I know y'all are gonna die, but we need an outro song. A song that we can remember y'all by, right? The final song of your life, so please make it the best. Like, you think I'm whipping on an instrument for these people?
slowly releasing safety boats to prevent panic, where only women and children could escape first. But as time moved on, the tilting grew much worse, where people on the bottom deck would start to see water flowing through the halls and rooms.
At what point do the men just start shoving people out the way and say, F those women and kids? I have a life too that I wanna live. like at what point does that happen? Or are the men just there on the sides like, I hope y'all have a great life. What happens to like the boys that are like 12 years old, but they're like 6 foot, but they still baby face? Do they still get on the boat? What is women and kids? Like, how old does kid apply to? Like right before teens? Imagine being a 13-year-old being told you gotta die. Like, sorry, hey, you can't fit on this boat, bro. You too old. Kids only. Hold on, like, this is how I would have handled this personally. If I was the captain of the Titanic and it's sinking, you know, I need to decide women, children, men, who are we gonna get off the boat first? What I'm doing is I'm going back to my headquarters and I'm getting the biggest piece of duct tape I can and I'm repairing the ship so nobody has to die. No one has to be sacrificed, but that's just me though. How old are you, boy? I'm 13. Sorry, boy. You can't get on this safety boat. You too old. Women and kids only. But I'm only 13. You're too old. Maybe if you were 12. But today was my birthday gift. This was my birthday. I just turned 13 today. Huh, sucks to suck. As they jump onto the boat with the women and kids. Like,
standing in a large crowd for over an hour waiting to hopefully get a lifeboat.
An hour?
But as the clock neared around 2 a.m.,
So it's a
slow
slow
realization
descent.
would take place that there's not enough safety boats for everyone. At this point, the entire ship would go into a full panic, needing to fight against the crowd to try to get onto the last few boats.
That makes
Within
more
the
sense.
panic, the ship would tilt even more, causing the
I wonder how, like, the people who did survive, like, I wonder how their dreams were the months after, you know what I mean? Like, especially the people who did shove people to the ground, and, you know, those people ended up not making it. Do they just dream of, like, dang, I really killed that person? Or are they just like, yeah, baby, I made
hour
it?
to go out, which would be pitch black since there was no moonlight on that day. At
Holy.
around 2:18, the tilt would become so extreme it would eventually cause the ship to snap in half. Many people flying off
Oh my
or being hit by the
gosh.
gate. And if you somehow stayed on the ship, it was now rapidly sinking, where your only choice was to either dive into the pitch black 28 degrees water trying to find a lifeboat, or
28
stay on the ship
degrees?
slowly being lowered into the water, freezing to death.
Oh my gosh. The fact that it's slowly sinking is what getting me. Honestly, bro, I thought Titanic hit ship, they started doing boats immediately, and like they had 15 minutes max and they were gone.
These are 4 animals with the most depressing lives. First is a cicada. You hatch from an egg, fall into the dirt, and dig straight down. With no wings or eyes, you wait underground for 13 to 17 years doing nothing but eating and growing. And after all of this
That's
waiting,
so
they dig
boring.
to the surface, live for about 3 weeks, and die. Next is the immortal jellyfish.
What?
You aimlessly float around the ocean, and when you get sick, injured, or old, you don't die. Instead, you sink to the bottom of the ocean, turn into a blob, and reset back into a baby, stuck in an infinite loop of doing nothing,
What?
where it only ends if you get mangled alive by a
What?
fish or a crab. But
That
even worse is a male
sucks.
redback spider, where your only purpose in life is to
Oh, is to
sacrifice
get
yourself.
eaten.
As
Yeah.
female redbacks are 8 times
Yeah.
bigger than the males, and during
8
mating, they only breathe
times?
for a few seconds, then diving into the female's mouth and getting brutally eaten
Bro, they only mate for 8 seconds, bro. Your whole life is just to deliver some sperm and then death immediately. You don't even get no satisfaction.
alive to help fertilize her eggs. Then lastly, the Greenland shark. You're born in total darkness and freezing cold Arctic water and can only swim slower than humans walk, where your daily routine is swimming alone in the dark, eating remains of dead animals, and eventually going blind from parasites in your eyes. Doing this again and again for a lifespan of over 400 years.
The lifespan's 400? 400? Did they tell you that?
What would happen if all humans disappeared from Earth? In the first 24 hours, lights all around the world would start to shut down as power grids fail, leaving everything in darkness. Then a few days in, subways would become flooded, and packs of wild animals along with plants will slowly take over cities.
And,
then
well,
a few
they're
weeks
wild
in,
now,
all
they're not
indoor pets
domestic.
and farm animals
Yeah.
will begin to die without food or escape in the wild. About a month in, power plant water cooling would evaporate, causing meltdowns and disasters all around the world. Multiple months in, houses would start to rot due to weather, insects, and leaks. Then a year or two in, satellites would slowly start raining from the sky.
Oh, they could last for over a year without
Over the next
getting touched.
25 to 50 years, nature would begin to reclaim everything, including
Yeah,
cities.
just like a dystopian video game city.
Animal populations would also increase, rebalancing many species.
Yeah.
The air would also be much cleaner and easier to see with less pollution. Then over 200 years later, most buildings, bridges, and towers would start to deteriorate and disappear. Over 15
Really? I mean, there's so many ancient buildings that I wouldn't believe they would disappear that fast. I guess the material our houses are made out of, that's probably the main reason why, but
1,000 years later, the only evidence we existed would be made out of stone and small traces of metallic dust or pieces. A few million years
now
later,
they gonna see the pyramids, dog. The pyramids are gonna be
places like
straight.
the pyramids and Mount Rushmore will be eroded completely.
Ah, bro, Mount Rushmore can't be touched. I told them not to touch it.
Then over 50 million years later, Earth would be completely back to normal with zero proof we ever existed.
50 million years from now, there's gonna be another asteroid, and this time Earth is gonna break in half.
These are the terrifying steps you would face if you got chosen to fight in the Colosseum. First, Roman
okay,
guards would
so first off, the Colosseum is a whole lot of BS. But, you know, Colosseum just proves that humans were always sick from the very beginning. Because what do you mean a bunch of humans are just gathering in a stadium to watch people die? Like, that's what they were doing. Regardless, if I was thrown in the Colosseum, first thing I'm doing is flipping off the crowd. You know what I'm saying? And especially the king. So that now it's bringing up hype. Now everybody wants me to die. Everyone's like, hey, no, we need to get him out of here. Send a hippo after him. Boom, hippo charging after me. See, the thing is, hippos are they're fast, but they're so big they can't move side to side quick. So as the hippo's coming, I'm gonna just sprint to my right by like 5 steps. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5th step, the hippo's gonna turn, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna take some wide arcing turn. I'm not probably gonna have a spear, but I hope that they do give me a spear because it wouldn't be entertaining just to see me die. That would be boring, right? I'm gonna lunge at it with the spear as it's coming to me because the momentum is slowed down, the acceleration is slower. I'm gonna lunge, I'm going straight for the eye. See, look, I've been a spear connoisseur since I was yay high, so I can get it right into the eye without worrying about nothing. As soon as I get into the eye, you know it's gonna freak out, shake its head around. As soon as it's doing that, jumping right on it, drilling it into the skull, easy claps.
Break down your door and pull you out of your home. If you couldn't pay your debt, were a criminal, or even a slave, you could get chosen at any random moment. Next, they would shackle you up and drag you through the streets, scraping your entire body as they make their way towards the Coliseum. But it gets more brutal.
They don't even allow you to
march
walk
around with your body through crowded streets as an example.
You see what I'm saying?
Spit or hit you,
you see what I'm saying?
Dragged you everywhere. And
humans
eventually,
are terrible.
You would be taken underneath the Coliseum, pulling you through a dark hallway into a holding cell with nothing in it except a cold floor, forcing you to stay in the cell for multiple days or even weeks.
They're
as they
starving me
and advertise your upcoming fight.
Hold on, if they starving me, I don't know if I can take a hippo, bro.
Chanting all day and people dying directly above your head. Even at night, you would hear wild animals as they kept them in the same room as prisoners. Next, after all this waiting,
I don't know if I'm taking on a hippo. I need to be fully nourished to take on a hippo.
You're about to discover your fate. If they gave you weapons and armor, you could possibly be a gladiator, fighting other prisoners, having the best chance at survival. But if they handed you a dull wooden sword or a towel, your life was already over.
They gave you a wooden sword?
Being thrown into one final small pitch black cell, hearing the crowd roaring around you, praying to fight something easy. Eventually opening the door in front of you, walking out and seeing a crowd of over 50,000 people cheering for your death. And in a moment of truth, the Roman guards will raise a small platform within the Colosseum, being met with whatever animal you have to face, which they specifically starved and agitated. You could try to fight back,
with a wooden sword, bro.
The best thing you could do is accept your fate.
That's so whack. Didn't even get a chance. Skill-based matchmaking after winning 1 game.
How did this farmer become the most feared sniper in history and earn the nickname White Death after slaying hundreds of people?
White Death?
It all started during the Winter War in 1939.
You know he was deadly.
Where a soon-to-be deadly man named Simo served as a sniper for the Finnish army. But he wasn't like the rest of the snipers and was so good at hiding, he literally caused paranoia in the entire Soviet army.
Yo!
First off, he never stayed in place or in a sniper nest. Instead, he lurked in the forest.
He was in the mix. Yep, he was in the mix.
Under the snow in a white camouflage suit, making him practically invisible. And every time he took out a few targets, he would move. He would also snipe without a scope, preventing glints, and was an experienced hunter, knowing all the best spots.
It's like when someone's doing this, are they doing it for like the love of their country, or are they just doing it because they want to kill something? You know, like that's the questions that's being had. Do they just love their country this much, or do they just feel like they just want to kill something? They want to kill a human without consequence. There's people out there like that. There for sure is. Oh man. They join the military just so they can hope to catch a body. Yeah.
Becoming such a threat, the Soviets began sending entire artillery barrages near random areas in the woods.
They're sending bombs for one man.
Entire sniper force specifically looking for him. But they still had no luck, continuing to take out hundreds of more soldiers, making the Soviets terrified of the woods. Until one day, a Soviet finally
got caught?
Taking an explosive round to the jaw, being pulled out of the war, and somehow still making a full recovery.
How?
A total of 500 confirmed fatalities.
You're telling me the sniper had one chance to take him out and failed? Wait, hold up. No, it's not the sniper's fault. How did he get him in the jaw and he survived? That's different.
Do you know there was a bear that fought in World War II alongside the Polish? It all started when a group of soldiers stumbled into a kid selling a baby bear in the Middle East, trading it with the kid for some food because they thought it was cute. And in the beginning, it was nothing more than a pet, feeding it milk and honey daily, keeping company in their tents.
Y'all think they were raising that thing as a pet? Nope, they were raising it for war. Let's be for real.
And even naming it Wojtek. But over time, the bear grew giant, over 6 feet tall.
Got it because it was cute. Come on now.
Planning on leaving him behind until they realized they could actually utilize the bear.
Planned on leaving him behind? They were never planning on leaving him behind, bro. They sent that bear out there to die.
Deciding to register him into an official military rank called...
Did he consent it?
Private Wojtek.
Right.
Bypassing laws, not allowing animals to travel, where Wojtek would actually work on the front lines with the Polish, helping carry heavy artillery shells, or anything too heavy, saving tons of energy. Even off the battlefield, he would help detect spies, since every time one snuck in, they would freak out after seeing Wojtek, letting everyone know you weren't one of them.
Okay, at least he didn't die in the front lines. Shout out Wojtek. Bro, that probably only happened one time. There was a spy, he saw the bear. Ah! He survived. I'm not gonna lie, Wojtek is different for that if he survived. I can only imagine there's like 2 or 3 people got from him.
Have you ever wondered why nothing attacks a capybara?
'Cause they're
They seem
ugly?
to be friends with nearly every living being on the planet, but why?
They probably
First
don't
off,
taste
capybaras
good.
are naturally calm and very social creatures. They don't care if you go near it or bother them. They're also herbivores, so there's no need to attack other animals and are basically friends with everything. Known to hang out around caimans without getting attacked and also riding on top of
What if they actually just don't taste good? That's what it is. Like what if they just like they have such a biological history of just tasting like garbage, or they have a smell? What if there's animals that only have a smell and that's how they communicate? What if like the animals that work together, they produce a smell that humans can't detect? We would have probably found out about that already, but we might not have. I don't know how good science is, but what if that would be interesting? Because you know, animals can see things that we can't see. You know, and they can smell distances that we can't smell. So, because like bees see at a whole bunch of different colors. And it's so crazy when you think about how many colors there are like that we can't see, because we physically can't fathom the color because we can't see it. Like we can't make a new color because we couldn't see, like we can't see it. Literally, it's crazy.
them. Where even extremely vicious animals like jaguars and pumas are seen chilling with them as well. But still, why don't these deadly animals attack it? Well, in reality, you've been lied to. Because most of these clips you've seen of them chilling around these predators is simply because they're already full, or just too lazy to hunt them at that moment.
That makes
Meaning
more sense.
capybaras aren't always seen as friends.
Yeah, they're easy snacks.
Have you ever wondered how we domesticated dogs and turned them into a man's best friend? It all started about 30,000 years ago, where humans and wolves were pretty much enemies. Wolves would always try to sneak up on humans and try to scavenge leftover bones and food, and humans would typically kill or chase them away since they were aggressive. But
Yeah.
sometimes there were wolves that weren't aggressive and simply stood near camps without bothering them. Noticing this, humans would only give the calm ones more food, and since they actually helped scare away predators and even warn us when something was near, we didn't mind them. Where these calm wolves began shadowing around humans all the time, and also helped us hunt, sharing the catch. And over time, we got so used to these wolves, we even began letting
This took like 200,000 years right here. Maybe like 10,000.
them live with us, only breeding and helping the ones with calm genetics. And
I remember the first wolves. Like I remember what my tribe with the first wolves that ran up on us. Just straight barren teeth, and they were bigger back then too. The wolves y'all see now, puny in comparison. They were bigger back then. So I remember getting woken up in the middle of the night every 5-6 nights just to go and hunt down the wolves just so they'd leave us alone.
fighting off the aggressive ones. And throughout multiple generations of breeding, humans pretty much reshaped wolves' DNA to be friendlier towards us. And thousands of years later, slowly became the dogs that we have today.
I would want to win a wolf for funsies, you know what I'm saying? Like nothing serious, nothing slight. Like I'm gonna let the wolf know in its tongue that I'm not taking it seriously, but I hit it with a and it's gonna know that like, hey, that's one of the ones I want to be the alpha of your pack type of thing, but I'm not gonna kill you. You know, I'm gonna take it light on you.
The T-Rex was a lot more horrifying than you initially thought, and
Good.
were way deadlier than what you learned. But why?
Why does
First
the
off,
T-Rex have like, why is the T-Rex the most known dinosaur? Like I'm pretty sure most people, the names that when they think of dinosaurs is T-Rex, a pterodactyl, brachiosaurus, triceratops. Those are like the only ones that are off the top of my head.
T-Rex had padded feet, meaning you wouldn't even hear them coming, only feeling the vibration of the ground and sounds
Look at that
of branches
Tri-Tri.
snapping around you until it was too late. But it gets more terrifying.
What if they're
They had
overrated,
better
though?
eyesight than eagles and could easily see you.
Better
from over 3
eyesight than
miles away.
eagles.
And since they had binocular vision, they wouldn't see you from the side, but stare directly at you.
That's so, bro. Yo, I get a pet T-Rex, dog. I get a pet T-Rex for sure. You just have to assert dominance over it, but yeah, I get one for
Even
sure.
if you tried running away, their sense of smell was so strong they could track you down for miles, constantly following you. Sometimes even hunting in groups to catch you. But worst of all,
Groups?
they had one of the strongest
That's
bite
OP,
forces
bruh.
on the planet.
That's
Meaning
OP.
when they caught you, they wouldn't just eat you. Instead, they pinned you down with their legs and ripped you apart piece by piece.
Holy.
9 crazy reasons you could be accused as a witch in the 1600s.
Talk to me.
If you were way too attractive, get
You're telling me they were murking women for being pretty? That's gay. That's just gay. That's gay. No. What? Wait, so they were closeted, and because they were closeted, they thought, you know what? Let's kill pretty women. Right.
getting lots of attention, they thought your looks might be used to manipulate people into witchcraft,
Right.
killing you for it. If you were writing on a piece of paper and someone noticed you were left-handed, it was believed left-handed people had the devil's hand.
What if that's why there's not as many left? Nah, I don't think witchcraft was that big, right? Like, it wasn't that big.
Ending your life. After an argument with someone, if you mumbled under your breath while walking away, people thought you were cursing them with a spell, executing you.
They were killing to kill. That's all that was. They were kill happy.
If you were too good at cooking and baking, making better tasting food than your neighbors, they thought you used bewitched ingredients.
They said if you're bad and you're a good cook, you're a witch. Holy! They said if you were a catch. Nah, okay, bro. This had to be, bro. They either had to be gay or this is women hating women. It's one or the other. But they had to be other women accusing women of being witches because they look better than them and they cook better because they were just better than them overall. They just had it all. Had to be, because what are we talking about?
To make your food too enjoyable, torturing you to death. If you had a large birthmark, freckles, or moles, you'd be labeled as having the witch's mark.
No, they got hoed. They got hoed.
Drowning you alive.
They got hoed.
If someone saw you in their dream, it was believed the person they
Hold on. So they just killed and kill because people they just lying. There was probably some man who got rejected one day and was like, you know what? I'm gonna pretend like I saw her in my dream so we can call her a witch. Cause he didn't get a little bit of stinky poom poom that hasn't been washed in 3 weeks because we know they didn't bathe out back then. They weren't bathing. I'm talking about ding-a-ling with warts, meat curtains with a special aroma.
saw is a witch using spiritual powers to invade your mind, burning you at the stake. If you were never in a relationship or weren't married, people might think you were overly independent, trying to hide something.
You can't even be an introvert. So look, if you are a good looking woman, you're dying by default. Because if you're good looking, either one, they're gonna say you're too good looking, or two, they're gonna say you're in someone's dreams. There were wives accusing women of being in their dreams because they saw their husband looking at this girl too long. She would look back and her husband was just looking at the girl too long and she lying about her. Wow. Yo, all this is dirty. All this witch talk is nasty, bruh. And they were okay with it. I think that's the thing. Like, we look at these crazy things in history, but at the time, there were a good amount of people who are okay with it. So it makes you think, what crazy thing do we do now that everyone's okay with? But in reality, it shouldn't be okay.
Taking your life. If you loved animals and had a lot of pets, they thought you used them as a vessel to transform into and spread your witchcraft, killing you and your pets.
Oh, what? Bro, not even the cat ladies are safe. You could be old, annoying, ugly, and disgusting. If you're all that, they're probably gonna call you a witch. They're gonna be like, oh, how are you so ugly? It gotta be a curse from that witchcraft. Burner. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. If you a woman, there's no getting out of it, bro. You just have to keep your face covered or something.
Did you know that penguins can propose and actually get married to each other just by using a rock? The first step is during mating
They want to be
season,
us so
the
badly.
penguin will search the crowd looking for a
Wanna use a
female he
rock.
likes. Once he has a crush, he'll remember their face, going out on a mission looking for the most perfect pebble he can find. When searching, they try to look for ones that are smooth, shiny, have a flat surface, and are clean. Once they find this special rock, the penguin
That's
will carry
hilarious.
it in their beak all the way back to their crush.
I know other penguins was getting they rocks snatched. They were just camping. They were on the prowl, just like, who got a good rock? And they mine. That's my eyes, baby.
It all comes down to a moment of truth, at which the male penguin will simply walk up to the female and lay the stone down at her feet. If she doesn't pick up the rock, that means she's not interested or already taken, which can cause the male to panic, constantly dropping more pebbles, hoping she changes her mind. Or sometimes their mate might see this and attack the other penguin.
Why does he have
But
a
on the
chain on?
other
Wait, hold
hand,
on. Why did he have to have a gold chain on though? Like, why couldn't he just be big and bulky? What do you need a gold chain on for? What does have the gold chain on mean? Huh? I'm just curious. What are you trying to say by that?
If she does pick up the pebble, it's a yes, where they will then spend the next few days building a nest together, then raising an entire family for months until they grow up, meeting each other again every single mating season.
That's so cute. Until a sea lion or a seal or whatever comes off from the side of the ocean and then just takes y'all and just eats y'all while doing vile things to y'all. Yeah, so cute.
Orcas are way more disturbing than you actually thought.
I don't think so. I know orcas are problems. I don't like orcas at all. Terrible
and
animal.
are the most feared animal in the ocean. But why? First off, orcas literally harvest sharks' livers. They'll target great whites, learning to flip them upside down, activating something called tonic immobility, temporarily paralyzing them, then ripping out the shark's liver, eating it, and leaving them
Just
behind. But
geniuses,
it gets
bro.
worse, as orcas torture seals for fun, playing a game where they'll take turns going up to seals and launching them with their tails, reaching up to 50 feet high, constantly throwing the seal over and over until it finally dies and eating it. Even more horrible, when penguins are resting on icebergs, the orcas will group up and swim together to create giant waves, knocking them off the ice, letting it crawl back up and knocking it down over and over, continuing to practice this hunting tactic until they've had enough training and eating it. But the most brutal thing they do is chase down and harass mother whales with their children. Since the mother is a threat, they use a tactic to tire them out instead, following the whales for hours until they get extremely exhausted. When the mother can't defend anymore, they'll take her baby and eat it alive in front of her.
Orcas are like, don't leave out them getting high on pufferfish, bro. Making the pufferfish purposely blow up so they can get stung by it and get high. Like, but you know, orcas are only a terrible animal because of how similar they are to humans.
Have you ever wondered why everyone hates the sunfish and often call them the world's most useless animal? What's the reason?
I don't know
first
none about
off,
the
they can
sunfish.
barely even swim. Unlike most fish, they have something called a clavis, which is basically just a stub instead of a tail fin, making it
Yeah, I
extremely
know.
hard to move around.
I know,
often
like
causing them
the
to
love disc, I'm pretty sure is based off the sunfish from Pokemon.
get stuck on the surface of the water and cooking to death from the sun, or aimlessly
What?
floating around, unable to turn. But they get weirder.
So
They're
why are they
entirely
alive?
defenseless, where predators will attack and take bites of them, but they'll just keep swimming because their brains are
Why?
the size of a walnut, and although they can feel pain, they can't really understand what's happening, simply
Why-
doing nothing about it.
why
Not
do they
only that, but their
exist?
bodies are bony and rubbery, where predators will usually just bite and spit them out because of how bad they taste.
Yeah.
Even fishermen don't bother catching them either, as the only thing that likes eating them is parasites. Sunfish typically have over 40 different species of parasites living on their bodies at once. Being so infested, seagulls will land on them just to eat them off. On top of that, their mouths are permanently open due to their odd bone structure.
What is
unable
wrong
to
with this
fully close
thing?
it, surviving by simply floating around, hoping something drifts into their mouth like plankton or jellyfish.
What?
But despite all of this, they've been around for over 45 million years, longer than humans, and outlived many other species.
They literally live by doing nothing.
Simply
Like,
by
come
doing
on, bro.
nothing.
Come on, bro. It's like a simulator animal, bro. They have no stats. They got 0 stats and they still survive. That's whack.
The Pompeii eruption was way more horrifying than you thought.
I don't
It
know what
was
this
far
is.
worse than what you
I
learned.
might know what
But
this is,
why?
actually.
First off, you would have 0 warning signs. At the time, the city of Pompeii had no idea they were living next to one of the deadliest volcanoes in the world,
Which
thinking it
sucks.
was just a mountain, not realizing
Ooh.
pressure was slowly building up inside over the past 700 years that lived there. And on a normal day in 79 AD, you would suddenly feel the ground violently shaking, followed by one of the loudest explosions in history, nearly blowing out your eardrums. Now Vesuvius has erupted, where smaller towns near the base of the volcano
They're
were
gone
instantly
immediately.
vaporized and
Yeah,
killed by
gone
900-degree
immediately.
gases. But all the way in Pompeii, you wouldn't
100
even
degree
realize what's about to
gases.
happen. Looking in the sky, seeing a massive cloud of smoke and ash filling the air. But surprisingly, many didn't run, staying in
Why?
the city
What?
thinking they were at a safe distance. When only 10 minutes
I
later,
could
everything
see
would
that,
instantly
but
go pitch
I mean,
black.
let's keep it a buck. They're not running from it anyways. They are not getting away from that. How do they not know it's volcano? Because the other thing, like, who feel like traveling up that mountain? So first thing, they have to travel up the mountain. Second, they have to survive traveling up the mountain. Third, they have to survive coming back down the mountain. It's just like, why? You know, it's just like, what's the point? If you have a city but no one feels like exploring, they're not gonna explore.
Ash and smoke traveling hundreds of miles per hour.
And then you have to think, what if someone did travel up and then tried to tell everybody, what if they just don't know what a volcano is? And they just thought it was like an interesting mountain. And then you have to think, what if the person who did make it up and down just wasn't ever believed? Like there's a lot of reasons.
Coated the city in seconds. People were immediately blocked inside their homes, literally turning their houses into ovens.
Oh my
in only
gosh.
minutes, buildings collapsed and streets were covered in ash taller than you, making it impossible for you to run away in time. The sound of debris and ash was also extremely loud, like a constant hissing, making it extremely hard for you to communicate in the darkness. Within minutes, hundreds of people already suffocated. But it gets worse. If you still somehow survived. Only
How?
a few hours later, a wave of superheated gas
Of
over
course.
500 degrees swept the city at 100 miles per hour.
Like,
Even if you were
no
safe inside your home,
breaks.
you would instantly start choking on the air and suffocate from burning hot gas
No
in your lungs.
breaks!
Where in a matter of one day, the entire city of Pompeii and all areas in the region were gone, taking the lives of over 16,000 people.
Golly, bro. Like, they didn't have a chance.
Have you ever wondered why everyone fears sharks and see them as monsters? When
Because of propaganda. That's why. That's where most fear comes from in life. Propaganda.
in reality, they're way more misunderstood than you think. But why? Well, first off, sharks don't even like eating
And they don't have pretty privilege. So one, you have propaganda, right? Which people, like, if it's pushed enough, people gonna believe regardless. But if you're ugly too, if you're ugly, come on now. Like, there's some animals that people are scared of purely because it's just ugly.
humans. Although in movies they're shown as these deadly and soulless man-eaters, most attacks specifically on humans are usually just mistakes or confusion due to misidentification. Not only that, but sharks only kill about 5 to 10 people a year,
How do you know it's miscommunication? They tell you that?
even though millions of people swim in the ocean daily.
Millions of people swim in the ocean, but millions of people aren't in the middle of the ocean. So that should be emphasized. Like, I feel like if we were everyone was in the middle of the ocean, it would be a little different.
You're more likely to die from lightning, deers, or even coconuts, claimed to kill around 150 people per year.
Because people are on land. That's why coconuts kill you. That's why you're more likely to get killed by a vending machine, because you walk past vending machines. You don't walk past sharks.
Although that number is debated. Even crazier, out of 500 different shark species, only 30 have ever bitten humans, and around 3 are real threats. Also, some sharks are known for being calm around humans. For example, lemon sharks often hang out with divers and don't mind being pet,
Lemon
or have even been
sharks.
seen blocking other sharks from approaching divers, giving them attention. And in general, most shark species tend to avoid conflict rather than getting themselves involved. But the most insane thing is that sharks have kept the ecosystem balanced for over 400 million years.
They sure have,
Long
man.
before dinosaurs. So without them in the beginning, ecosystems could have collapsed and the world would have developed very differently. Meaning we probably wouldn't be
Like, see what I'm saying? It's easy to convince someone that you should be scared of this. It's terrifying, bro. Got a crazy nostril. He has the type of nostril that be advertised on adult websites. Hey, do you want this toy? 12-inch firm? Nope. Okay, you're right. Let me stop.
These are 4 animals that have the most brutal start to life after birth. First off, sea turtles. You hatch from an
Oh, yeah,
egg and are immediately
as soon as
thrown
they
into
off
chaos,
the
needing to
rip.
crawl over 100 feet through scorching hot sand, trying to
Yep.
get to the water before getting eaten alive.
Yep.
Where seagulls and tons of other predators will attack and eat you before you even have a chance at life.
Terrible
Having a
start.
1 in 1,000 odds of survival. Even more
1
brutal, the
in
praying mantis.
1,000?
As soon as you're born, you crawl out
Mantises
of
are
an egg
bad?
case surrounded by hundreds of other baby mantis. Entering a
Do they
hardening
all
stage,
box?
frozen in place, unable to move, alongside hundreds of your starving siblings. When
They all
suddenly, after an
box.
hour of waiting, all of your bodies will be ready at once, putting you in the middle of a free-for-all war, eating each other alive and
They come out the womb ready to box, bro. That's so hard, man. That's why when you see a praying mantis, they always strong, because they had to fight for their life.
fighting for food, where only about 10 or 20 will survive. Even worse, the Galapagos marine iguana.
Who?
As soon as you hatch, you crawl from the ground and realize that you're born on a snake-infested island, where dozens of
Why?
racer snakes will
Oh.
instantly begin to chase you at full speed just after
'Cause
surfacing,
it's just
needing
the
to
island.
immediately learn how to run and survive over 100 feet to safety, often getting bit and fighting off piles of snakes ambushing you out of nowhere, having a 1 in 20 chance of survival. But worst of
Goodness.
all, the wildebeest. You're born directly in the middle of an active herd and are surrounded by predators, where you literally have to learn how to run and stand within only 5 to 10 minutes. And if you can't
10
figure out how to
minutes?
run in that short time period, your life is already over.
Oh, bro,
where you'll usually get
wildebeest just be hoeing. They popped that bad boy out and was like, hey, get up. Not getting up? We can make another.
trampled and left behind with no protection, being eaten alive by predators.
Coming out the womb with no chance.
How did this Filipino fisherman accidentally find one of the rarest objects on Earth? It all started back in
All I know is whatever he found, he did not get properly compensated, and he probably does not have money right now. Not the amount of money he should have anyway for finding it.
2006, while the man was on his normal boat route, when suddenly he was surrounded by a massive storm. In a panic, he tried to sail away, but his anchor was stuck on something, preventing him from leaving. Taking matter into his own hands, he dove down to his anchor anchor and tried moving the object himself. But the object he found was much different than he could ever
This man looked like a
imagine. It was a
butthole.
giant, shiny, weird-looking white rock. And at first, he thought nothing of it, carrying it back to his
Found a
boat
rock?
because he thought it looked cool. Sailing back home and stuffing the rock under his bed, completely unaware of what he just found.
Bro found a rock?
Fast forwarding an entire 10 whole years later, his house caught on fire,
Hey, what type of
burning
rock
down
is it?
half of his house, forcing him to move. But while he was taking out everything that survived, he rediscovered the giant white rock, finally deciding to bring it to a local tourist office, hoping they knew what it was. But when he walked inside and revealed it to them, it left everyone speechless. The object he found wasn't a rock, but one of the world's largest pearls ever discovered in human history, worth
How much
over
did he get paid?
$100 million.
How much of that did he get though? He better cover his ankle with gold and chains. What's his name? I want to know if this is real. Like, I want to know if he really got his money. Let me look up. Filipino man finds pearl. It's a 75-pound pearl? He told her that 75-pound. Hold up, that pearl is humongous. 75 pounds and he pushed that thing up. I mean, I guess it's in water, so it's a little lighter, but that's still kind of crazy. He was not aware of the potential value, but he kept it as a good luck charm. When he came to move to another province, he entrusted it to his aunt, who works at the local government as a tourism officer. That's why he brought it to me, since it's quite heavy, she said. With his permission, she offered the pearl to the mayor to serve as a new tourist attraction of the city and is now displayed on the atrium of New Green City Hall. How much did he get paid? I'm not seeing nothing about making no money. Because if they're just talking about, oh, it's worth this much, but no one was actually paid that much, then I don't think it's worth that much. Let me see if I can find something on Reddit. The government took it. He didn't get paid. US man sneaks 130 million giant pearl out the Philippines? How did we get there? It's unclear how the transfer was made, as such pearls registered in the National Museum of the Philippines. It bears uncanny resemblance to blah, 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 blah. It's almost impossible to pull off what we did. To get this to the United States, we're probably the first one to do it. Bro, he got nothing. I'm not seeing him get anything. That's so whack. They just said, oh, it's worth this much, and they didn't get nothing. Today we're checking out a channel called Truce. And you may be asking, what does Truce do? Let's find out together.
Give me a cute animal to raid. Arabian sand boa. It's gonna
Talk to
take
me.
a lot for a snake to be cute.
Arabian
oh my
sand- Ah! Two.
god, and it does it.
Two. No, you're lying.
Is
You're lying.
this real?
You're
it
lying,
actually
you're lying.
looks like that? 9 out of 10.
Okay, Truce is on some BS. Okay,
This is
okay.
phenomenal. Trilobite beetle. 0% chance of beetles.
A beetle?
Cute. Oh my god, we literally did
That is raw. Oh,
this
that's
in a previous video.
that's a cool video. That's a cool beetle.
It is not cute. It looks like it would crawl inside your
That
arm
is so-
and feast
that's-
on your veins.
Oh
1
my-
out of 10.
That might be the coolest beetle I've ever seen. I didn't know beetles could be that cool.
Elephant shrews. I have never heard of
What
this
the
in my
heck's a
entire life.
shrew?
Is this real?
They're kind of cute, but that long nose pissing me
it's
off.
so cool.
Oh,
Why
that
have I
nose
never
is-
seen this before?
A
This
5.
is the most adorable thing I've ever seen.
5.
He even looks confused about what he is. 10 out of 10. Easy.
No, not
Pelican
even
eel.
close.
Pelican eel. How can an eel possibly be like a pelican?
Yeah, what is
oh
that?
my god.
Be for real. Yo, that thing's
God,
nasty.
what? What does it eat? Limbs? Those who have sinned? Why have I never heard
That
of this
thing is
thing? Was so
that thing look cursed though. I find it funny, like if you remove its mouth, it kind of look cutesy with the eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look at purely the eyes and you try to ignore the mouth, you're like, oh, maybe this could be like a cutest fish. And then you just have that massive jaw made for probably only eating shrimp and plankton.
someone sheltering me? Where are these things at so I know to never go near there?
I'd beat one-on-one.
What is an animal you could be even as a giant? Pelican spider. Any animal named after another animal
As
is
a giant- like a
horrible. I don't
giant
even wanna
animal?
Look. Huh?
What the heck is that? Why is that a thing? Oh, that's disgusting. Oh my gosh.
I don't understand it. I've been
Yuck!
looking at it for 5 minutes. What is this? This isn't a real thing. It looks like you separated
I beat the brakes out that ugly thing, bro. I get an attack bonus against uglies, bro.
a spider into like 25 parts, then had a toddler rebuild it.
I
Japanese
strengthened
snow fairy.
10x.
Oh my god.
That is adorable. That would look so good in my oven, bro. I bet it tastes amazing.
Oh, it's perfect. perfect. Oh my god, I just want to get like
And I'm
25
taking
of
him
them
one-on-one
from my
easy.
bag and take them home. The name, the look, everything's perfect. Wait, why are you fighting this thing? You know what? 50k likes and I banned them from the Discord. The Gargan Schmargle. Sounds like something a third
Ooh,
grader would make
that's
up.
made
Oh my god,
up.
it's
That's
actually
made up.
not a real thing. You just made it up.
You fell for the old Gargle Smargle. We've all witnessed the Gargan Smargle, bro. Like, I can't believe he fell for the oldest trick in the book.
Similar results are Gargamel. Top 5 antagonist of all time. Mantis. That is the worst answer possible. They have insane strength.
I'd beat the brakes off him. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna lie. Mantis are demons. Imagine a human-sized mantis shrimp or whatever that shrimp that be punching 3,000 miles per hour at the speed of bullets. Oh my gosh.
Relative to their size. They can literally get hummingbirds. Wait a second. However, they cannot survive at a human-sized scale because their exoskeleton would collapse.
Didn't ask for the scientific reason.
You did it! You won!
No. In this world, we'll make their exoskeleton survive.
What is an animal that you can beat 100 of in a fight? Purple
100
frogs,
of?
no explanation.
Purple
Does
frogs.
the color help? Oh my god, what are the—
I'm not beating 100 of those. Dog, do y'all know the amount of times y'all have to stump the... Oh my
ugly
goodness.
things? I think the more of them there are, the
Why are they so fat? I've never seen a fat frog before.
less of a chance they have. It seems like they have negative brain cells. I'm having trouble believing this is a real thing. How can something look so stupid? Pepperoni.
How does it
No, you have
live?
to pick a living animal. You can't just be like, oh, I'll take some Wagyu beef. Everyone can beat a hamburger in a fight, except vegan.
We can't really beat 100 hamburgers though. If you try to eat 100 hamburgers, you're dead.
Fruit flies. All right, 100 fruit flies. Why do I even try anymore? Shut up. All the
That's a lot of flies,
fruit flies
though.
carry the
Oh my goodness,
plague.
100 fruit flies might actually murk you because you don't know what they're carrying. They might enter your ears, enter your butt. Imagine fruit fly dingle, or imagine going to sleep and you just hear fruit flies in your ear because you beat 80 of them, but 20 of them went into your head. Oh my gosh.
I like the idea of grabbing a ferret and then using it to swing around and hit the other ferrets like a baseball bat.
I'm definitely
probably the
not
only
taking a
person that ever
ferret.
thought of that.
Yo, there's-
Basswood Wabagon. We're
Who?
saying this stuff's real, right?
What am I looking at?
It's
What
a
am I-
carpet with eyes. What a goofy, obtuse
What am
little
I
fella.
looking
Wow,
at?
You really got the
Ugh.
short end of the evolutionary stick now, huh?
He kind of raw though, cause he blended with the ground a little too
Naked
well.
mole rat. Oh wow, naked mole rats, they're so ugly. The third video that comes up when you click this song has to fight 100 naked mole rats. Do you know how many
What?
YouTube shorts I see that do that crap?
No, I don't. I have no clue what you're talking about. I've never heard of that before in my life.
How would you take over the world? 1,000 withers. Buddy, a wither gets beaten by someone in armor and a sword. We have heavy weaponry.
How I would take over the world? I'm telling you how I take over the world, bro. I'm learning how to speak to animals. I'm communicate with parrots. I give my plan to parrots. I'm not gonna let y'all know just in case I'm able to finally communicate with parrots. I'm not gonna tell y'all my plan because then y'all gonna know it's me who did it. But I'm talking to parrots. I'm telling them to talk to some other animals. You know, I said across the globe, and we gonna get something going on. Don't think about it too hard. Just know I got something going on, bro.
What animal has the most aura? Shoebill. The most auraless name ever.
It is a nasty name, but they do look cool. I think I like shoebills because like they want you to bow. Like if you bow, they bow with you type of thing. They hit one of these, they like, or they want you to bow type of thing. They hard.
Oh, what are you? Oh my god. Why does this
They're
thing
nasty
look
as
like it is
their
just
name is nasty though, because what's shoe about
wrath
them?
incarnate? It is pure hostility.
It's also like the fakest mean looking animal you'll ever see. It's kind of like a mean looking dog but raised by a good owner. Like this thing, the shoebill's not gonna do nothing to you if you don't do nothing to it.
I mean, it has aura. It's a 9 out of 10. But I'm not happy about it. Mud
Yeah, it is.
skipper,
It is
huh?
like a 9 to 10. Like, how do you even find what this doopy thing is, bro? 1 out of 10.
Yeah, buddy, this is not aura. This is the exact opposite
It's
of aura.
1 out of
This
10.
species is gonna be an aura debt forever.
I want to know how in the evolutionary tree it came to be and how it's still
Okay,
around.
goats.
Is it a
Regular
slug?
goats have literally 0
One.
aura, but mountain
One.
goats, the ones that stand on the little edges,
That's hard. Like, it's just standing on the side of a mountain with, or a side of a whatchamacallit with no care or no thoughts, that's hard.
maximum aura.
At most, mountain goats are a 3 because they still look doopy.
9 out of 10.
No! They don't compare to no shoebill!
Leaf-tailed gecko. I'm expecting some chills.
It's a gecko. It's going to be whack. If a gecko is hard, I'll get hard right now.
Oh my god.
Like I said, flaccid. Its eyes look like a snake.
This is not aura. This is horrifying. Why does it look
This
like
should be
that?
in a
This
horror
looks like
game.
the most apathetic creature I've ever
Yuck.
seen. No remorse, pure bloodshed. 5 out of 10. It's just creepy. Tibetan fox. I feel like a lot of foxes
That sounds
do have
hard.
aura.
That sounds hard. That's not hard. That's literally Swiper, bro. Like, get Swiper off my screen.
Why does it look like this? I'm gonna be honest, there's something really uncanny about this. It
Get
looks like a
Swiper off my...
person that put on
Oh! Its head does not fit his body at all.
a
It
box filter.
looks...
2 out of 10. I'm actually like
Nah,
scared.
I'll give it a 3.
Give me a unique animal and I'll rate it. Bleeding heart dove. I'm gonna be honest, that's a cold
That
name.
it's gonna be...
Yo!
Bro, that's ugly. It's a 2. Like, I get bleeding heart dove because it has a little bit of red there. That's a ugly bird.
Yo! A bird name is never inaccurate. Holy crap, I did not think it was gonna be this accurate.
2.
That's honestly just amazed me.
No,
Wow.
but
Honestly, 10
be
out
on-
of 10.
Just throwing out tins like it's candy. That's a ugly, disgusting looking thing. My fault to all the heart birds out there, bleeding heart birds, but bro, come on now.
I love that. Rosy maple moth. Moths are either horrifying or beautiful.
Rosy
and
maple?
this is gorgeous.
That's not gorgeous. That is terrifying. If that is flying at me, I think if it lands on me, I'm gonna die. What do you mean by gore? Like, it has not a nice colors. I get that. Remember, it's a moth. Can we actually focus on the fact that the animal is pink? There's not that many pink animals. The only pink animal I can think of is a flamingo. It's pink and yellow. It gotta be cursed.
Just look at it. It doesn't look real. There's
No,
a list of
no,
top
no,
5
that's
animals
terrifying.
that look like
There's
extraterrestrials.
terrifying.
Moths
That's a-
are on it. These ones...
But it does look unique. I have to give it a 10 because it is unique. This is one of the most unique things I've ever seen. I have to give it a 10.
Specifically, Barbarossa. Oh my god, it's a weird
On the unique still, I give it a 4, I guess.
pig. Why does it look
I'll
like
give it a
that? Why
4
does it
on
have
the
an extra
unique
set of
seal.
tusks?
Actually, no,
Buddy,
bro,
it
it's getting
curves
2.
into them.
It
Would that not
stinks.
literally just impale them at some point?
That
How has
stinks.
evolution failed them this bad? I'll give them a 7. Toucan. Toucans are sick. I'm gonna be honest,
Toucans
when you
are
see
interesting.
a toucan in person, it genuinely doesn't look real. Toucans are so abnormal to me.
Yeah.
Even looking at it with my own
Yeah,
two
I
eyes,
do
I'm
get
still
that.
like, nah, that's fake. But honestly, they're sick. I'm giving them an 8.
I'm not mad at that.
What is a fictional creature you could tame? Jormungandr. Jormung, huh? Oh yeah! What is an animal that doesn't get enough credit? The bobbit worm. What is that?
like, what do
oh
you-
my...
Why does it need credits? That worm looks like Yoda in the eyes. I don't know where his eyes are. I was thinking this is his eyes. I have no clue what I'm looking at.
What?
That
What
looks
is
haunting.
that? This is a real
That's
thing?
nightmare
Are you
fuel. Hold up, it got colors on it though. Hold up. He kind of iced out. He kind of clean with
serious?
it.
Where do you guys even find these things? You're telling me a centipede and a...
Hold up, that thing, yo, that thing kind of clean. Hold on. Oh no, he cool. I gotta give it to him. He cool.
crab had a child? Sun bears. What is a sun?
Oh, sun bears are ugly.
Why is its tongue so long?
Yeah, bro,
This
get-
is a sun bear.
get
There
that
is
outta here.
no chance you're telling me that is a real animal. That is someone in a costume.
Get
what
them-
do you
get them
mean
outta
it's
here,
real?
bro.
You can
No.
literally see the thing. Am I tweaking? It's waving. That is not a bear. Jaguarundi. What kind of mythical
Oh,
beast
what
is
type
this
of
gonna be?
fake
Oh my
animal
god, I
is
love
that?
it.
Oh, that's cute. It's a fat jaguar. It's literally just a fat house cat.
Wait, what? Oh, have I never heard
That's
of this? It looks
adorable.
like you mixed a jaguar.
Hold on. What the heck? It's actually really small. Yo, that looks like it would be the most annoying house pet.
And a ferret. I'll take 4. Sea sheep. There's sea pigs and sea bunnies. Now you're gonna tell me there's
And there's sea lions.
sea sheep?
And there's sea eels.
Oh my god, wait, this is
Oh,
awesome.
okay, now they're
Wait,
on a-
this is
they're
so
on a
cool.
roll.
Oh
That's
my god, it
cold.
looks like a mystical little
That's
sprite
cold.
that got-
What is sheep eat? What's sheepish about it? I don't get what
Like you on
sheep
your
is, but that's
journey through the
cold.
ocean. No, I don't want to be this person, but it kind of looks like a cow.
Nah, you're onto something. That's a sea cow.
What is an animal that would be horrifying if it was bigger? Water bear. Are bears not big enough? That is not a bear.
It's not real. That's not an animal. What the heck is that?
That is not a bear. What is this? Freak of nature?
That's not
I mean,
real,
it kind
bro.
of looks
That's
like you
fake.
put a bear in a hazmat
That's fake.
suit
That's not
and then
real.
gave it additional legs. Tarantula hawk. I don't know what that is,
Anything with tarantula, yes.
but I don't
Yes.
want it bigger. Oh my god.
Yo, they're kind of clean. Yo, the green with the red wing. Woo! Nature did they thing. That's a clean animal. It's real. It's microscopic though. So they're naming things that is microscopic, which means it basically doesn't exist. No, but they're naming puny things.
Why is it so big already? Does
That
it
thing
hunt
is
spiders? Buddy, if it's bigger, it's taking
What
out
the heck is that?
bears.
Wait, it's
Hoisting a
huge.
grizzly above a deciduous forest like a DoorDash driver. The Black Mamba. I think it's
Of
horrifying
course.
enough as it is. You look
Right.
into its mouth and it's just a chasm. It's just a dark abyss. Is this the Grim Reaper of snakes? This thing could wipe out a town in a few minutes. A colossal squid. Bro! They're
It's a colossal squid. Why does
already
it
up
need
to
to be
23
bigger?
feet long and a
Why do I need my colossal squid to be even more colossal-isk?
1,000 pounds. Are you just trying to make the Kraken? Is that actually what you're doing here? At least put it on like the coast of France. How would you beat a dragon? Just how Donkey did. No, 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 no. We are not.
I'm not gonna lie. Gucci, there's no point in continuing that sentence. How would I beat a dragon though? I'm gonna have to do it like old bro from How to Train a Dragon, dog. I'm gonna build a dragon wing for one that lost a wing. Cause I used to be a pilot, you know, back in the day. So I learned all about, you know, aerodynamics and how planes were built and whatnot.
Not copying the actions of Donkey. We are not doing that. That is not a viable
Yes,
strategy
we
and will end in
are.
your demise.
No,
you don't got game
no,
like him. I'm
we
scared
will
off of
do
my
it.
sheer aura. All right, this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna approach the dragon trying to aura farm, and then high pressure water. You're gonna use a pressure washer on
Yo, you use like your pressure washer against his like flamethrower
a
type of
dragon.
breath.
It's not
That'd be
made
hilarious.
of fire. It quite literally is just a lizard. You're quite literally just giving it a bath. Slap it with a fish. Why would?
What?
What is the scariest ocean animal? Diving bell spider. No, no, no.
Spiders
I know
aren't
I
that
have to look
scary.
at it.
To
Is
give
it
it
a
a buck.
water bender? It
Yeah,
just
that's not that scary to be
has
honest.
a bubble. It uses the bubble to get underwater.
Ooh. How did they evolve like that?
What? How does that
They
even
cl-
work?
they
Sheep
clean.
shed. Sheep shed.
And then you have that disgusting BS, bro. Like you had that cool spider. Now you hitting me with the.
Why does fish look like it calls its grandmother Meemaw? Why does this fish look like it unironically says yeehaw? Gashadokuro. What? Who's
fake
prepared
animal.
for the completely normal thing we're about to see?
Fake animal.
Okay, that's a skeleton.
Like,
That's not
come
normal.
on now.
That doesn't even follow the prompt. You just showed me a giant skeleton
Just
for the
saying
fun of it.
BS,
Frilled
bro.
shark or hagfish. You know what? The frilled
What
shark
is-
sounds cool. Oh my god, yep.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, we've seen that
Immediately
before. That's
retract
clean.
that statement. What crevice
That's
did you
clean.
pull this from? That's actually horrifying. The more I look at it, the more scared I'm getting.
Oh, yeah,
How
it's
did you
scary, but
manage
it's clean.
to encapsulate all the sins.
I'd keep one as a pet.
Who is a character that should be erased from fiction? Saint Charles. You'll understand when you see him. I'm not just gonna
Saint
dislike
Charles.
someone because they look weird.
Oh, the what's their name? Celestial Dragon. I remember him.
Never mind. I dislike him. How does one accomplish that build? Also, what is he wearing? Nah,
clean
this is
with
the
it.
average rage baiter. Scarlet King from SCP. This is probably
Ooh.
gonna be strange. Oh my god.
Oh, he's kind of clean with it, but he's also kind of boring. He kind of like he had a destiny to keep it a buck.
Yo,
He's just
who
a
gave
Destiny
him this
character.
much?
Oh, now that's clean though. That's
Aura,
kind of
my
clean.
question-
But he also kind of look like bro from Ben 10, Divine Flame guy.
Question is who's gonna erase him? Cause it ain't gonna be me. But he looks like he holds the fabric
Now
of
that-
reality
oh my
together.
goodness.
Non-subscribers. If you could domesticate any animal, what would you pick?
Oh, bro, I want to. Yo, a giraffe would be clean. A bear would be so hard. I think a domesticated polar bear would probably be the hardest, the cleanest looking animal to domesticate. Like, imagine walking with a polar bear. Because the fact that they're cute, they're fierce, and nobody wants to mess with one. Oh my goodness. A honey badger is all right. That's all right. A hippo's whack. Because the thing is with a bear, you can literally be walking side by side with your bear though, and they're on twos. They're walking straight up. They're like 9 feet tall walking beside you because for some reason bears can walk. Oh my, a polar bear? So clean. A panther would be clean too, or like a black panther. A black panther and a polar bear, bruh. Like imagine you on like a trail and you just have your black panther chilling in the trees, just got your, oh my gosh, that's clean. Okay, let's see. We're not even getting to the vid, bro. Let's see what he's about to say. They not about to say nothing that's cool as a black panther or a polar bear.
Armadillo girled lizard. That sounds like two separate animals.
Oh my god, bro.
No! This is real? How have I never
No.
seen this before? It is. It actually
No.
is. What?
No,
this
like
is
what?
so awesome. How have I genuinely
It looks like fictional. It looks like a Pokemon, but it's puny. It's not. It's like if it was big, yes, but it's
never
puny.
seen this before? Psittacosaurus. Dinosaurs are never a good idea.
Like they not even. They
That
not
is
even
such a
trying to be cool with it, bro. They
confused
naming
dinosaur. I've never
BS,
seen
bro.
a
Like who
dinosaur
is?
that has no
Like why would I?
clue what it's doing.
That dinosaur is so. It has pointers on the side of its
It
mouth.
looks
Like
like it is instinctually awkward. You know what? This one might be fine to have as a pet. Fluffy raccoon dogs. Oh my god, I
That's
needed
not
to see
bad.
this sooner.
That's not
What
bad.
is
That's not
this?
bad. I'm not
it's
mad at it.
literally just an amazing, perfect
I'm
fluff
not
dog.
mad
It
at it.
literally is a
That's
raccoon
cl-
and a
that-
dog
that's
together.
cute.
This is perfect.
That's
it's
cute.
for a dog. Surely I can get one. Like I actually need one. I would do egregious things for one.
no. What are you gonna do for one? Egregious. I'm scared. Okay.
Black servals, long
Black
kitty.
servals.
What? What is a long kitty? Never mind. That is in fact.
It look like it's constantly on the prowl. You have to watch your back all the time with this. It has dog ears too. It don't even have cat ears for
Long
real.
cat. That looks like you edited the image. Even it looks tired of being long, dude.
Nah, they didn't really have nothing clean for real. I'm gonna keep it a bug.
If you were reincarnated as an animal, what would you be?
If I was an animal, bro, I'd be reincarnated as a parrot. And as a parrot, you know what? Y'all don't need to hear the story. Y'all don't need the story if I was a parrot again. I know y'all don't need to hear the story. But if I was a parrot though, I would go from animal to animal, telling them like, hey, we need to all congregate as a team to take down the humans. And then I would go get domesticated by a human so I could properly convey what they're doing to the animals. And then I'm gonna be flying around military bases, just chilling. They're not gonna know what to suspect. And then I'm gonna go relay the information to the military back to the animals so we can catch them off guard. And we're starting in Australia because they have such a high kangaroo count that if we catch them off guard, we might be able to get them lacking. I've never told that story before, bro. I've had it in my head for so many years. I've never said that story before.
A huntsman spider. No.
Oh, it's gonna just be another ugly spider.
Oh,
Just
you guys
another
are
ugly
literally
spider
gonna
that's
give
not
me
really scary.
arachnophobia. Oh my god, it's
Oh, that thing does look like it's on the hunt. That looks like it would be on the hunt. Yo, if I'm a parrot, I'm finding every single huntsman spider in Australia. And I'm telling them like, hey, y'all need to web up here, here, and here. Because this is where their tanks are gonna be going through. Or this is where they're gonna be parking their helicopters, bruh. I'm gonna tell the huntsman spiders to put their webs in the equipment. I'm guiding insects into the military equipment so guns aren't gonna work. They're gonna shoot guns. It's gonna go kaplooey on them. Woo!
huge. Oh my god, it's huge. I'm genuinely selling the house if I find one of those. It eats lizards. Oh my god. Ugh. A blue glaucus. That sounds like you just made it up. What is this? No.
What
Please
the heck?
explain to me what this
That's
actually
kinda-
is,
that's cold.
because I swear to
That's
God, this
clean.
looks like it was
Amazing-
sneaking into your
amazing
spaceship and
looking
there'd be a movie
Pokemon.
about the passengers trying to
Amazing
escape it.
looking
I'm not like
Pokemon.
Paris. You guys just think it's so funny saying random names that I can't pronounce.
Like, bro, this reminds me of when people are saying you're a loser in your fantasies. Because why did your brain take you to this animal, bro? Don't have a fantasy of you being a loser. If you're gonna have a fantasy, fantasize about winning.
What? What is this? Dude, it looks like a Pokemon. Yo, wait, no, that's actually sick. I'm sorry, I apologize. This is awesome. White rabbit with red eyes. Please
White
don't
rabbit
make
with-
me think back to it. Please don't make me
He's
think
Subaru
back
type
to
thing?
It. Oh my god, the pain Subaru goes through
Yeah, he deserves
on a
it.
daily basis.
He
This is
deserves
beyond
it.
a torture method.
Nah, he needs that. He deserves everything that happens to him. No, I'm just playing. I'm not the biggest Subaru lover, but I guess I won't hate. I won't hate too hard. Worst mating rituals in the animal kingdom. Oh, look at this duck peanut. Oh man.
97% of the birds don't have penis. Only a few large birds like ostriches and emus have that blessing. But
How big
ducks,
is theirs?
they are something else. Just imagine. This is the size of an
I don't know what a duck dingle looks like, but I was told to never look it up. And so I listened to that. When someone says never look so-and-so up, I don't go, you know what? I'm gonna take it upon myself. No, I'm not looking up that corkscrew.
Argentinian duck, and it's the size of its penis. On top of that, it's totally screwed, literally. It can be twisted counterclockwise from 6 to 12 turns. This half-meter screw can screw up anything,
Yuck.
and now this drill seeks a female duck. During other days of the year, the life of ducks is normally simple. They swim, eat bugs, and care for each other.
Yeah.
Even the size of the male screw is barely 2 inches long.
And it's in
But
their
as soon
butts.
as the mating season comes closer, the screw starts to grow with an exponential rate. The male mallard tries to
They slowly get
impress
bricks.
the female with dance, vocals, or any means possible.
And that's why the duck went to the man at the stand and asked him if he had any grapes. He wanted the grapes to give to the female duck.
If a female accepts him, he instantly engages in mating. But if the female rejects him, well, he
He
instantly
does it.
engages
Yeah,
in
he
mating.
does it regardless.
Either yes or no, he will duck her no matter the response. But in either
That's
case,
wicked,
the ritual
bro.
is cruel
But
and
that's
aggressive.
that's
First, the
animals.
mallard climbs on the back of the female and bites her in the neck or head. Then he starts mounting the screw. The screw can sometimes damage the organ or make her unconscious.
Right. You know, I didn't expect a court screw dingle to be pleasant.
If they are on water, he may pin her head down, drown her, and then tighten the screw. But as a safety measure, females are evolved with a labyrinth-shaped receiver organ with
What
some
the
dead
world?
ends like pockets too. If she doesn't want that mallard's offspring, she can reject the sperm and go mate with another suitable partner.
Oh, that's some kind of fire. I'm not gonna lie. They can redirect the nut.
Some females even have a clockwise labyrinth that makes it almost impossible for normal males to penetrate. But in cases where there are more males and few females, the ritual is extremely tough.
I'd imagine.
Many males go for a single female, and all of them take turns on her. There is a high chance that she might not make it alive. Or in lucky cases, she survives with a bald head,
A bald
hairs
head.
removed from the neck area.
What the? Okay. Note to self: never look up duck mating. You know, like, cause I swear in the other animal kingdom they box for the woman. They not boxing. They're all complicit. They all waiting. Bro, like, where the boxers at?
And many of her feathers removed from her wings. After the mating season ends, the male's screw starts to degenerate and returns to its puny 2-inch size. And the group
Puny. I think 2 inches is a reasonable
is
size.
filled with love, joy, care,
The group
and
is
happiness
filled with
once again.
love.
Well,
right.
until the next mating season at least. Dolphins are among the most liked animals on the planet.
They shouldn't be. Dolphins should be one of the most disliked animals on the planet. The dolphins' PR is so absurd, and I think it's just because the dolphins look cute. Like that's all it is. They have pretty privilege. They're pretty privilege of the sea. They be smoking on pufferfish. They'll smack a pufferfish, wait for it to puff up, and then they will suck on the pufferfish and then blow the pufferfish to each other's friends, and they all get high together. They get high on pufferfish. They be ganging up on, man. They jump sharks. They be 8v1 in sharks. A shark be minding his business. Here comes 8 dolphins or orcas. It's one of the two. The sharks be getting jumped by one of them. Killer whales, which are just dolphins.
And they always seem happy too.
Sea lions be camping the shore of the Arctic, wait until the penguin gets close. They jump on the penguin, grape the penguin, and then eat him. Let me lock back in.
Look at that face. Not only do they look cuddly, they look totally friendly too. They play in water, jump high, and word around the town is that they even save drowning humans.
Word around
So almost
town.
all people like them.
PR is
What
insane.
separates them from other animal species is their intelligence.
Why would a sea lion do that? They can't mate? I could be getting them mixed up. It might not be a sea lion. I don't think it's a seal. I think it's a sea lion. Nah, it's a sea lion. Antarctic fur seals. You know what? I was hating on the sea lion. My fault, sea lion. Spreading misinfo. That's on me. That's on me.
They are the only animals except humans to have names. Just think about it. They have names just like we do. They even call each other by their names. With so much intelligence and personal names, what do they do with it?
And the more intelligence a creature has, the more vile things that creature can do.
Well, they kidnap a female dolphin and force her to mate with them. It doesn't matter if she is not interested, they do it anyway.
Well, I
You
think
can
that's
see for
a
yourself.
lot of animals.
Hey,
What do you mean?
Sam, look here. I found
Oh, I was about to say, I can see for myself.
a
I'm
girl. Come here
good.
quick. Sure, Ben, hold her there. Don't let her escape. Hey, Thomas, Harry, and Michael. Ben caught a girl. Come here quick. We'll have fun
Oh,
tonight.
brother.
Now all of them arrive and surround the female dolphin. They block all the possible paths to
Oh,
escape and
brother.
forcefully mate with her. It doesn't even matter if the female likes it or not. They just have it their way. They all take turns until every last one of them has their wish fulfilled.
Like, how am I supposed to take this seriously, bro? Look at his face.
It is common for a female dolphin to mate with numerous males. So multiple males mating with her doesn't usually create an issue though. Also, most of the time, dolphins mate not to make babies, but to have fun. Having sex for fun comes with the intelligence, I guess.
Probably, yeah.
This is a sea slug, and sea slugs are hermaphrodite creatures. To make it clear, a sea slug has both male and female sex organs and can be male and female at the same time. When it's time for the mating, the hormones increase, and thus it's time to search for a partner. After it finds the partner, both get ready for the mating process.
They probably
But
they eat each
there
other.
is a huge problem.
One
None
has
of
to
them
get
wants
eaten-
to carry
eaten.
the seed, and both of them want to be males. Now, how did
You
they
gotta
decide
get
it?
you gotta get beat into female necessitiism.
They decide it with a sword fight. Don't imagine slugs in heavy armor and metal swords. They have their own inbuilt sword, and it's called penis.
Whoever sticks it in first gets the dub. Bro, this is like the football locker room all over again. I don't know why I said that.
Yep, you heard it right. Both extend their penis and start fighting with each other. It's called penis fencing, and the sole purpose is to strike the opponent first.
Bro,
The battle goes
what?
on, and one of them strikes in the head. This strike ejects a liquid that makes the receiver believe that he is a female. Now the winner is decided, and the fight is...
So the dingling, you inject dingling poison, so then you can eventually inject the nut. That's crazy. You inject dingling poison. It makes them confused, like, oh, I female now. I will receive. What is going on?
over. The winner then stabs the newly turned female's body and ejects the sperm through
Just
that wound.
anywhere. Oh no, I need to talk to one of these, bro. I didn't know how they brain work, man. Can someone set me up with a conversation, just a one-on-one interview? I want to do it on a podcast for y'all, just so we can all hear what they gotta say about this, because I think this is ridiculous.
Then he starts kissing mouth to mouth and continuously cuddles the female for some time.
Right.
Maybe it's now pleasure dance after sword dance. No, sir. There is a high chance that the injected sperm might be digested by the female. Kissing and hugging slows down the metabolism process of female and helps sperm reach the destination without being digested. It's not your episode, man. Get some rest. Let me handle this episode. Okay, this type of sword dance mating, also called as penis fencing, is found in some flatworms too, but it's pretty straightforward for the
What type of BS are these flatworms about to be on?
flatworms. They don't hit on the head, cuddle,
Oh,
or kiss.
thank goodness.
For them, the first strike releases the seed and the receiver turns to female.
Okay, so that is the actual locker room talk. Like, it's just as soon as that. Right. I shouldn't have said it again. Like, right. You right. You know what? I like the way you think. Tangerine, I can call you that. All right, Tangy for short. I like that.
It's simple. When I think of a deep sea creature, this is what comes to my mind. By the way, I call her Florence Nightingale. If you want to know why, see in the comments.
What?
Okay,
What?
back to the topic. This scary-looking sci-fi type alien creature is an anglerfish.
Oh yeah, we know random males just run up on them and they just suck on them for the rest of their life. This is light. This is swag.
It can grow around 3 feet in length. For comparison, this is an average goat, and this is an
3 feet?
anglerfish.
Wait, anglers can be 3 feet? Like the size of a toddler? I have never seen them depicted to be that big.
You can guess how big or small this is, but the males are tiny, less than an inch in size. This happens when nature plays pranks on you, I guess. Since anglerfish live around 3 miles deep in complete darkness, they live a solitary life. So it's almost impossible for her to find a partner. She hunts small fish and searches for possible mates with her headlight. At least she has a light source. Poor males don't even have that option. This pathetic-looking puny thing just wanders around here and there without any goal or vision. But when he smells a female,
they're literally
he
just
runs
made to
towards
be
her as
eaten.
if his whole existence depends
That's
on
all
it.
it is. They're
And
they're
yes,
made
his
to be
existence
eaten.
actually depends on it. If he misses this chance, he might never get another female in his lifetime. So he directly bites in the stomach area of the female and never lets go. He holds on for dear life, literally. This is called actual commitment, guys. You should learn from it. He attaches so much that he gets fused with the female. It takes some guts to dissolve yourself for the sake of others.
It's
A good example of when people say, let two of us be one. We just say it. They actually do it. After some time, even the blood vessels get fused, and everything gets inside the female's body except for the balls. Well, don't ask.
You're telling me I can go anglerfish hunting, pull one out, and it just has scrotum hanging out of it? You did not need to tell me that, bro.
Any questions here. It just seems natural.
You did not
Balls
need
are
to
always
tell me
supposed
that.
to hang outside. Then the female takes sperm from those eggs whenever she needs to fertilize the eggs inside her. Since finding a partner is too difficult, several males attach to the same female over time
Bro, they were already ugly.
and
Yuck.
undergo the same process. Around 8 males can attach to a female. And all that remains is their
16
balls.
balls?
Their guts got dissolved, but they still have the balls, I guess. Male seals are heavyweight champions. Some seals, like elephant seals, are giants around 7,500 pounds.
Yep, these are the ones who be touching the penguins.
Or
These are the
3,000
one who be
kilograms.
touching the
To see the
penguins.
size comparison.
Oh my goodness! That could feed my family for decades! Seals got good PR as well. And they're not even that cute. All because they can hit a or is that a walrus? They're the same thing. Like that look like shriveled up dingling. There's no way you're comfortable with this thing. Like all the seal has to do is slip and you're dead. Why did they get such good PR?
Guess just by looking
dolphins.
at that they are among the biggest mammals on Earth. But females are usually small, around 5 times smaller. Normally, all the males and females live
Oh,
solitary lives in the
no.
ocean and gather together only during the breeding season. When it's mating season, the impulse rises, and the males arrive first in the breeding area and fight with each other to make their territory.
Okay, at least they boxing.
Just around 10% of the males mark their own territory after a fierce battle, and the remaining 90% weak ones are forced to stay away somewhere around the corner. Then females arrive a few days later and choose the male who they see as the strongest. If a male sees someone interesting, he will forcefully drag them to his harem. Sometimes those
like a medieval king or something, bro. Like an emperor.
forced ones are unwilling and too small, immature females. A single male can get as many as 100 females for his.
He really is like an emperor, just with a bunch of concubines. 100? I guarantee you like 50% probably die messing with that overweight, overgrown piece of lard.
harem. And after all the females have gathered, male checks which ones are ready to give birth and which ones are fresh. Because most of the females were pregnant from previous mating, they need to give birth and take care of the calf for around 3 weeks. But for the fresh ones, the male engages in mating immediately. Since most of the females are already pregnant, the main mating ritual starts after the calves are around 4 weeks old.
All right.
That is around February 14th, the Valentine's Day.
Y'all be following the seals that much?
From this time to the end of March, what they do is just mate.
So they spend all Black History Month just banging. Right.
Male mates with all his harems turn by turn non-stop for 1 month around. The unwilling ones are forced into mating. First, he climbs over the unwilling female, immobilizes her in the position, and then starts mating. This may cause bone fractures and even death in some cases.
Told you, way too much weight.
Well, the small, immature ones are treated the same way. If any of his female tries to leave the harem during the mating season, the male will use force if necessary to keep her inside the territory.
He an emperor, bro.
During the mating season, a male loses around 30% of his body weight.
Then they eat him.
That's over 2,000 pounds.
They lose 2,000 pounds in 1 month? What type of crazy dieting is that?
You can imagine the energy and intensity. And for those poor 90% of the guys, life plays it unfair. They have got just 1 or 2 to mate with, so they search for anyone. Literally,
I'm not gonna lie, bro. If I was a seal and Big Bro just used all his energy and lost 2 tons after a month, we jumping him. Us 3. He lost 2,000 pounds. I lost 50, bro. He can't hang with me. He can't hang with us. And in front of his whole harem, we're gonna eat him. Oh, he gonna be, and we just gonna be nomming on his backside.
anyone, even males, start to mate with other male.
I don't want to do that now. I'm good.
Another species of seal called the Antarctic seal was documented mating
This thug.
with an emperor penguin, not once, but 4 times. Since the audience males try to copy the behavior of alpha males, researchers believe that seal and penguin mating will increase a lot in the near future too. After a month, females start to set for the ocean. These weak 90% are now the strongest because, they mostly got 2, or let's say 2.5, and still have a lot of heat and energy left. So they catch the female during their departure and start the last resort mating. The Sigma males don't have much energy left and are weak,
And then they beat him.
so they don't really care.
Yep.
The last resort happens violently. Well, you can guess why. After the last resort finishes with few damages and casualties, the females leave the place. They will gather again after 9 months, and
Oh,
the
okay.
cycle continues.
I thought
This
I
is
thought
a
they were
male
gonna eat,
redback
bro.
spider. And
Please, why are
this
we
is the
spider
female.
talking?
Females are highly venomous.
Oh, these are the spiders that eat the other one. So what they get is they like, hey boy, bring me that nut. They take that nut, then they eat it. They hard.
And large, with a red mark on the back of their body. Males, on the other hand, are pretty small. Comparatively, they are several times smaller in size and around 100 times smaller in weight. The female redback spiders
goodness.
are actually cannibals, and the male has just around 30% chance of survival during the mating process. So to continue the existence of species, the males have evolved in a unique way. They can store their sperm directly in their palps. If you are wondering about what a palp is, these things are called palps. Male stores both the palps with sperm.
So
So
what
it
does
has
that
two
do
chances
though?
of fertilizing the female.
Oh.
With full preparation, the male moves to the female territory. In
No,
this
like
case,
imagine you got with your significant other and you're like, man, hey babe, I think it's about time for us to have a child. And she's like, oh, that's an excellent idea. So y'all go at it one night, 2 hours, just 10 rounds in a row. You exhausted, you're like, oh, hey. Hopefully one of those rounds work out, and then you look down and she's eating you from your toes. Big toe gone. Ah! What are you doing? Ring toe go. Oh God! Stop! You try to fight back, you can't. So then it goes to your calf. Ah! That's what it's like to be that spider. She doesn't even touch your balls. She eats the bottom half of your legs, and you're like, why? Why? And then she spits spider webs on the bottom of your legs so you don't fully bleed out. And she tries to get you hard one more time, one more round. She said, I'm gonna save this one for later, just in case these rounds didn't work. I'm gonna save this one for later. Takes that nut and then gets back to eating you. Oh my God. Oh, the horror. Oh gosh. Yo, start the video, bro. Man, y'all are blabbering.
her territory is her web. It cautiously attaches itself in her body in such a way that his head faces her genitalia. You may understand it easily if I say in 69 position.
Bonk.
While attaching, the spider makes sure that its palp can reach the genitalia. As soon as the first palp starts releasing the sperm, the female starts to release the digestive fluid from her mouth that starts to digest the male alive. Since the sperm is already stored in palps, the body is not important for mating process. So the male sacrifices the body and inserts the second palp inside the female. It lets its body be a decoy and patiently waits until seed from both the palps is inserted properly. But some male redbacks are clever. It is found that some males break the palp from his head and push it inside the genitalia.
Ooh.
The palp gets harder after some time and it blocks the path. They want to make sure that no other males will be able to mate with that female again.
Ooh.
They are some selfish bastards when it comes to the sharing is caring sentiment.
Selfish is hilarious.
After the mating is complete, the female eats him without any second thought. In a few cases where he runs away, he dies within a few hours because of that damaged body. In any case, the death is guaranteed.
Oh,
The female
they die
stores sperm from
regardless?
as many males as possible.
They can't escape. It's kind of like, y'all know the Walking Dead Telltale where old bro was crawling down the top of the steps because half his body was gone because they were eating him, but they kept him alive so the meat stays fresh. So he was crawling. He's like, oh. That's what happened.
Then use those sperms anytime she wants, up to 2 years.
You can hold that.
This is an adactylidium mite.
When I gave my example of holding the nut just in case this doesn't work, she said, bro, I'm really a certified veterinarian, bro.
And you may have never heard of it. Since their mating is so peculiar, I thought I should include these too. The interesting thing about these mites is that the female mites are already pregnant before they are even born.
What?
You will understand it in just a while. Just from
What?
the birth, their body already contains the seed from the male. And now, they just need food to make some eggs. The female then searches and eats one egg of thrips. This is what thrip actually looks like, and this is a thrips egg. The single egg gives the female mite the required
heck is
energy
a
and diet
thrip?
to produce around 8 eggs. Among those eggs, one hatches into a male, and all remaining hatch into females.
They eat
all
'em?
hatch inside the mother's body. Then the male mates with all the sisters and fills them with seed. Since the mother
And this is why they don't evolve. Just infinite incest? Like, that's why y'all don't grow.
genitalia to give birth, they eat her from inside and come out of her body through that wound. The role of mother is fulfilled, thus she dies. The role of male is complete too, and he dies too. In most cases, the male dies even before being born. And the newly born pregnant females start searching for a thrips egg. The whole process takes just around 4 days, and the cycle continues.
Zooey mama. Don't. Animals are nasty. Oh my gosh. Eating your mom as soon as you come out the womb? That's not it, girl. That's not it at all. What it's like to fight the deadliest beetles.
Hello
again, bug-sized man. Have you ever wondered what it's like to fight the deadliest beetles in the world?
Actually, never in my life have I thought about it. Like, genuinely, I don't think about beetles at all.
Well, let's find out. Challenger 1. Rhinoceros beetles.
Like,
The
why is it
Hercules
called
beetle
that?
is the one-
That's why it's called that. What the world? What are beetles? Why are there beetles, obviously? Like, what? Why are people fascinated in collecting beetles? Cause like I've just seen it in a TV show, people collecting beetles or beetle watching, trying to find specific beetles. I know bird watching.
Longest beetle in the world,
look at
growing
this.
up to 7 inches thanks to their massive horns.
7. That's
First, They
humongous.
intimidate their rivals and predators by making a hissing noise. But there's no
Bro thinks you can intimidate by shaking buns. Get out of here, dog. Get out of
way
here.
that's working on you, right? Oh, I guess I was wrong. Fleeing is a great choice, though. The Hercules beetle's actually quite slow on land, as its giant horn makes it difficult to move around.
That thing looks awkward.
But I forgot to mention he can fly.
Can it shoot? It can fly.
A bit clumsily, though.
Okay, so
Now you would
Hercules
think that
is
a
easy
magnificent
claps.
horn like this would do a great job at the old stabby.
I don't
But
think
his
so.
horn is actually made of 2 parts: the cephalic horn and the thoracic horn. They're lined with hair and spines, and when he moves his head up, it creates a secure pinch grip. So it's actually used to grab you, hoist you into the air, and suplex you into submission.
I do think I could take it on. Purely because of how dangerously long that nostril is, bro. I'm running circles around it. It's not gonna be able to keep up. I'm gonna be running in circles and it's gonna keep trying to look around, trying to find me. We're gonna move slowly to like a tree, or since it's small, a branch, and it's gonna smack itself and it's gonna get a headache and it's gonna be knocked out of there.
The beetle then approaches, ready for a snack after all that hard work. Here you go, boy. You did a great job.
Bro, we're taking that beetle down.
Turns out he's not carnivorous. He's just a peaceful beetle who eats fruit and sap, and
Taking it
occasionally
down.
beats up other beetles on the side. In front of the ladies, of course. Hercules beetles aren't the only horned beetles that exist. There's elephant beetles, Japanese rhino beetles, atlas beetles, and many, many more.
Shout out Heracross, bro. Even though this is a nasty, like, beetles are so why are there so many different types of beetles?
Into the collection you go. Before we dive into the 10 other unique beetles on this list, let's learn some beetle lore first.
Talk to me.
Did you know that the Hercules beetle started off as a slimy grub?
I mean,
beetle's
didn't we
life
all?
cycle has 4 main stages. First, all beetles start off as an egg, which are usually laid near a suitable food source. Second, when the egg hatches, a larva emerges.
I think like a worm. I'm gonna throw it on a hook and catch me a mean
Snacking right away,
catfish.
and not all of them behave the same.
Like, that thing is so fat, bro. Oh my goodness. Imagine 20 of those in your house. Just walking around. You go downstairs and on your living room floor, you walk into the kitchen on your floor, you just have beetles walking around. Imagine you wake up, you yawn, you look up to the ceiling, you have 20 of these on the ceiling, bruh. I hope y'all get one of these when y'all have that midnight pee you gotta go to. You waking up at 4 a.m. having a pee, and I hope there's like 5 of these in your bathroom, man.
The Hercules beetle larva feeds on rotting wood and leaves, but some other larvae are vicious carnivorous predators. But we'll get to them later.
Talk
the
to
main
me.
goal of the larva is to get as fat as possible, to store enough nutrients and energy for the 3rd stage in the cycle, the
Big
pupa
body.
stage. The fat grubber burrows into the soil to form a pupal chamber, where it breaks down and completely reorganizes its body, developing structures like
Like, why can't we do that? Why can't we dig into the ground and just start evolving?
the legs, wings, and a harder exoskeleton.
Like, imagine if we could evolve, bro. We dig into a hole, we like meditate for like 3 weeks, and we come out like a whole new being, bruh. That's what that cultivation be in like the manguas, my fault.
And in the 4th and final stage, the fully formed adult beetle breaks out of its pupal case, ready to take on the world. Isn't that amazing?
No. Translator? What that mean?
What?
Doesn't Pero mean dog?
Did you understand that? Well, maybe we can solve it with today's sponsor, Mondly.
Amazing introduction of a ad.
Challenger 2. Tiger beetles. This
That looks like a ant with extra appendages. It's kind of cool.
is the tiger beetle, the fastest running insect in the world.
Hold up, the fastest in the, I've seen some quick spiders in my house. And this is the fastest, maybe he said beetles and not insects.
This is the tiger beetle, the fastest running insect in the world.
I hope y'all wake up and y'all got 25 tiger beetles chilling in your bathroom. I hope the second you get into your car and you're getting ready to go to school or go to work or get something to eat, you look at your ceiling and there's 16 tiger beetles just chilling there. That's what I want to happen.
It can reach speeds of up to 5.6 miles per hour, which is about 125 times its body length per second.
I need to know what that looks like.
That's the equivalent of a human running 700 miles per hour.
I have to see a tiger beetle move. I need to see it move so I can visually get a representation of what that means. A human running 700 miles per hour is Rididi. Tiger beetle running. Talk to me. Is this a tiger beetle? Oh, that thing's, oh my! That thing teleported. Oh my goodness, it teleported. It teleported. It teleported. It teleported. Oh my goodness, it's teleporting. Yo, I hope y'all wake up and there's 20 of these on your feet, bro. Oh my goodness. How does it think to where it's going next?
Basically the speed of a jet. It's also one of the most aggressive beetles, equipped with curved
That's why it's
serrated
tiger.
blades for men.
That's why it's
They're
tiger.
Quite large relative to their head size. But
I don't
why
like
all this
that. I don't like
fancy
that at all.
weaponry, you may ask.
Oh.
Well, it's the dismember you limb from limb, of course. Unlike the Hercules beetle, this guy's carnivorous.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kicking it
I think
right
he's
in his
going.
mouth.
Well, unfortunately, it looks like you might have a chance of survival. Turns out the tiger beetle moves too fast for its own brain. There's
See?
not enough
That. Right, because that was the question I asked. How does it know what it's doing? That's what I was saying, right.
time to process visual inputs, so they temporarily go blind mid-sprint. Oh, he's back
They
now.
go temporary blind? That's hilarious.
Oh, we lost him again. Apart from their visual processing speeds, they're terrible with sharp turns. Looks like you've gotten away.
Easy collapse.
Just kidding. Say hello to the tiger beetle larva, and they're just as violent as the adults. Their tactic is to burrow into the ground and wait patiently, and when prey like you
Right,
stumbles
so they're
along, they
landmines.
launch out with lightning
Bro,
speed
they're
and grab
landmines,
you with
bro.
their powerful pincers, pulling you inside.
Disgusting.
The larva has a hump with curved hooks that allows it to anchor itself to the tunnel, so there's no way for you to struggle out once it's latched on. And all the while, it's using its mandibles to dismember you and eat you alive.
Whack beetle. Bro, so fast he can't even see what he doing. That's ridiculous.
Toxic beetles.
Great.
Next up,
That looks
we
like
have
a
the
bee.
second coolest beetle on
Like,
this.
why do none of these beetles look similar whatsoever? Like, why are beetles so different? The only thing they have is like the wings and the legs. Nothing else is similar.
List the Bombardier beetle, and inside its juicy booty
Well, like
is a
a-
toxic chemical weapons factory. What? There are two reservoirs inside
Looks
the
like a,
beetle's abdomen, one filled
plastic
with
toy.
hydroquinone and the other with hydrogen peroxide. When threatened, the beetle squeezes these reservoirs, mixing the chemicals together in a chamber with a bunch of enzymes. The result is a violent exothermic reaction.
So it's like a
that heats
skunk.
up to
It's the
boiling
skunk of
point of
beetles.
water and builds up a lot of pressure too. The beetle then releases this.
He has boiling water on his buttocks? Yo, do you know how crazy his diarrhea must be? Yo, if he eats a bad ant, he's poisoning the whole anthill with one toot.
As a hot, noxious spray that can severely wound
Bro, if I ever got peed on by a boiled booty beetle, bro, gotta say fair play.
or even kill enemies. But you might be wondering, why doesn't this explosive beetle butt chemistry make him go? Well, a one-way valve prevents the pressure from going back into the beetle, ensuring that it can only leave through one exit, the Bombardier beetle's butt turret. The weapon is more like a Gatling gun than a flamethrower.
Like, what am I looking at, man? Bro, spraying you with semen. This is a horrific screenshot, bro. Horrible frames.
As each spray is made up of a series of many rapid pulses per second. This helps the beetle avoid overheating and damaging itself. And
He
unfortunately
has
for you,
Gatling
it stores
poo?
enough chemicals to repeat
Bro
the
is rocking Gatling diarrhea.
pulsing spray for up to 20 times in a single fight. The beetle's butt turret also has a 270-degree range of motion, meaning it can protect itself from most angles.
Like, you're telling, he has, oh my goodness, he has turrets.
And if the boiling temperature
has
wasn't
turrets.
fair enough, one of the products of the reaction is benzoquinone, which is an irritant with a strong, stinky smell. So now you're in
So he's
physical
skunky.
pain due to the
He's
burns
literally
and
an evolved
emotional pain
skunk.
because nobody wants to be
I'm
around
dodging it
you.
though. I'm dodging it. I'm hitting him in his reset time.
Challenger 4. Diving beetles. The great diving
I'm not
beetle
trying to
lives
be in the water anyways.
freshwater
Great
ponds
diving
and lakes,
beetle.
and they've developed a taste for seafood. Oh, come on, man! They can stay underwater for over 30 minutes using
I
the
can't
bubble
tell.
of air they've trapped under their wing covers as a scuba tank. And once it's depleted, they stick their butt out of the water to replenish it. The beetles are quite agile.
They
thanks
can
to their
breathe out they
paddle-like hind legs, which
booty,
are lined
bruh.
with long hairs to generate more thrust underwater.
booty
They
breathers.
use the speed to chase down prey like small fish and tadpoles. Then with their strong forelimbs and mandibles, they grab and tear them apart. All while
Is that like a minnow? It's a minnow. I thought he was grabbing like full-grown fish, bro.
spewing digestive juices. Ooh, you got him.
Easy
Ew,
claps.
That's smelly.
And
As a
then
defense
it
mechanism,
has- it's
the
like a
beetle secretes foul-smelling
stink bug?
chemicals. This could cause larger fish to puke them out, or even paralyze them.
Ugh.
You've escaped this time. But you're not safe yet, because diving beetle larvae are even more of a menace.
Of course they are.
These guys are extremely aggressive hunters, capable of overpowering prey much larger than them.
Like
even
what?
Other adult diving beetles.
So why is the
Once they
larvae
pierce their
so
prey,
strong compared to
digestive
some of
juices are
the grown
injected through
beetles?
a tube in the mandible, and the liquefied nutrient soup is slept up. This vicious behavior grants them the very cool nickname of water
Man, I hope the
tiger.
next time y'all take a bath, a water tiger just walks into your bathtub, comes out of your drain. I hope a water beetle is just chilling in your tub the next time that you decide you want to sit back and relax.
Challenger 5.
Oh, rip Buzzo.
Indestructible beetle.
Of course! Of course, so we have boiling semen shooting beetles, we have Aquaman beetles, we have A-Train beetles, then you had the first beetle, which was the pacifist beetle. Like,
This is the diabolical ironclad
that's
beetle.
a rock with legs. That's what that is.
Yep, that's its actual name. Ironclad because it's covered in almost indestructible armor, and diabolical because the guy who named it must have stubbed his toe on one. This is diabolical. The beetle can take a crushing force of 39,000 times its own body weight. That's like
What is that
you being
equivalent?
stepped on by 500 African elephants.
Okay, but what's 39,000 times its own body weight, though? That's a lot of elephants.
And yes, they can survive being run over by a car.
They're tanking cars! Who made this beetle? What? Who was this beetle's ops? Who was hunting down this beetle for it to evolve like this? Had to be getting stumped on by T-Rexes.
The diabolical ironclad beetle has sacrificed flight, and instead, its wing covers are permanently fused together to form an impenetrable exoskeleton.
What makes it a
It's
beetle?
made up of multiple layers of tough chitin, interlocked in a jigsaw-like pattern that allows them
I'm about to skin that thing and make a chain out of it. Ugh.
to flex and absorb high impacts efficiently. Ironclad beetles can also live up to 8 years, which is way longer than the typical lifespan of most beetles. They've basically dumped all of their stat points into defense and
right.
HP, the ultimate tank build. So I guess you're not winning this fight. But you're in luck, because this guy ain't
A
winning
pacifist.
either. Despite its evil-sounding name, the diabolical ironclad beetle is actually quite docile, and it plays dead whenever it gets threatened.
Aw.
Why don't we call it a draw for now? Although, it's probably playing dead right now for another reason.
It's larvae. Oh, okay, what about, I guess no
If you're
larvae.
enjoying the video so far, it would help me a lot if you could hit the like button. Thank you. Goodbye. Did you do it yet? Challenger 6. Dung beetles. You might think that dung beetles are just
Dung,
stinky
bro.
little
Why is his name Dung, bro? And why did it come in and rolling like a roly-poly? This is a nasty looking beetle, dog.
bugs covered in poop all day. And you'd be right, but don't underestimate them.
The larvae was probably soft, yeah. That super armored beetle probably was a soft larvae, man.
Because they're actually one of the strongest creatures relative to their size, being able to pull 1,141 times their own body weight.
What?
That's like you being able to pull a fully loaded Boeing 737 by yourself. Dung beetles have a super sensitive sense of smell, which is great for finding new piles of poop. Their whole world revolves around it. They eat poop, live in poop, and raise their stinky little lava babies in poop.
Next beetle, dog. Next beetle.
Different species show different behavior.
Next beetle.
Tunnelers roll the dung ball to a safe spot to bury it. Tunnelers burrow into the dung piles and live in the tunnels underneath. And
I don't
dwellers
need to hear
literally
about
just
how
live in the
people
dung
live
pile.
in poo,
Once a
bro.
roller has captured a ball, they can't be stopped. Literally, the beetle rolls its ball in a straight line no matter the obstacles. If it gets knocked off course, it gets up on its little poop perch and uses the sun, the moon, or light from the Milky Way galaxy to reorient itself.
What? I'm still taking it down, bro. Not no poo-loving demon taking me on,
Dung
dog.
beetles usually aren't very aggressive, but they get serious once you threaten to steal their poop ball. It's like a game of King of the Hill, where the beetle stands on its ball and defends
I don't
it
want
against
your ball,
its
dog.
attackers.
I don't want your ball.
Unfortunately, the dung beetle's love of poop is also their greatest weakness. Their predator, the burrowing owl, purposely collects poop from other animals and places it around their burrows as bait. This attracts them for an all-you-can-eat
Holy,
beetle
bro.
buffet.
Worst beetle I've ever heard of. Terrible beetle.
Challenge 7.
Who's this? Okay, you got obese beetle.
Giant beetles.
Man, I'm taking
The
that
Titan
beetle
beetle
down.
is the biggest beetle in the world. Hey, don't look at that guy. His horn doesn't count. Anyway, Titan beetles can grow up to 6.5 inches long, and their large mandibles
Humongous,
produce
bro.
enough force to snap a
I hope y'all find a Titan beetle on the seat of y'all toilet. And after y'all take that Titan beetle off, you sit down and you start feeling like there's something in your butt. And now the whole day you're gonna think that a Titan beetle crawled up your anus.
pencil in half. Of course, they would have no problem cutting into human flesh too.
Of course.
What do these guys eat to get this big? Well, actually,
Dung.
nothing. Adult Titan beetles don't eat. In fact, they don't even have digestive enzymes.
So they just grow like that? Legendary
It's speculated
genetics.
that as larvae, they store enough energy to last their entire adult stage of life.
What?
And I say speculate because Titan beetle larvae have never been found in the wild, and none have been bred in captivity either.
What?
Don't even know what they look like. Adult
So you're telling me they're giant beetles that are just excellent at hiding. They just dodging everybody. Dang, they're invisible. Assassins even.
Titan beetles only live for a few weeks before they burn through all their energy supplies. So to beat these guys
Oh, it
in a
only
fight,
lives in a
all
few
you
weeks.
have to do is
Okay.
evade them until
That
they
makes
eventually
sense.
flop over and die. I won. I won!
It only lives for, man, that's easy. That's easy claps. Who is that?
There's actually another contender for biggest beetle if you go by sheer weight. The Goliath beetle.
Who named this beetle Goliath?
They come in at a whopping 50
What is that colorway? Look like an old raggedy house, bro.
grams, and the lava is even chunkier, weighing in at 100 grams.
100
Luckily, both of
grams?
These guys aren't carnivorous, so as long as you're not trying to steal their
That's like half a chicken leg.
food or their mates, they're pretty docile, and you can escape without a fight. Can't say the same about the next one, though. Challenger 8.
Okay, that's lame.
Epomus beetles.
What's a
To the
Epomus?
filthy casual, the Epomus beetle might look like any other regular beetle.
It
but
is.
You should know better by now. Actually, I'll let you take a break for this one.
Who are you gonna put in there? A
I
bird?
have another victim in mind. You see, throughout beetle history, there's been one slimy predator that has terrorized every
slime?
bug in
I mean, not a slime,
existence.
but snail?
A relentless, bottomless bug vacuum. The frog. But now we're about to see
right,
the predator
right.
become prey.
You're telling me this beetle is taking on a
This
frog?
tale of revenge begins as a tiny larva. In the presence of a frog, the Epomus larva acts all weak and helpless, wiggling its antenna around pathetically. Oh no, don't eat me! The amphibian is baited into thinking it's an easy meal. and
Right.
lets its guard down and lunges forward. And that's the last mistake this frog will ever make.
What happened? What
The
what
larva
did it do?
dodges and immediately counterattacks by sinking its creepy double-hooked mandibles deep into the frog's slimy flesh.
I feel like that's a terrible frog. You're telling me you got dodged by a larva? You can't catch larva? I swear I've seen frogs snatch flies out the sky easy. You can't catch. How fast is this thing for real?
There's no chance for the frog to struggle free as the lava slowly slurps up its body fluids, eating it completely. Even if the frog managed to swallow the lava, it's been known to latch on from the inside, usually causing it to be violently regurgitated, and free to attack the frog again. Once the lava transforms into an adult, it doesn't even bother with the bait and switch playstyle anymore.
It just attacks.
Instead, it relentlessly hunts the frog down and latches onto its back. And then, using its mandibles like scissors, it cuts through the muscles and tendons of the hind legs, disabling the frog's ability to jump and escape. Then it can take its sweet leisurely
What type
time
of
to
Satan
eat the
beetle is
frog
this?
alive. In my opinion, this is the coolest beetle on the list. But get back in there. There's more deadly beetles to come. Challenger 9.
That was Satan beetle. That was.
Stag beetles.
Okay,
Stag beetles
that's
are most
whack.
notable for their giant pinchy mandibles.
Yeah, I'm not
and they
worried about
come
no
in
stag
all
beetle.
different shapes and sizes. The largest of them is the giraffe stag beetle with
Oh,
long serrated
of
mandibles
course.
that are quite scary. When challenged, the first thing a stag beetle does is intimidate its opponent by rearing up onto its forelegs and spreading its jaws. If the opponent
So
doesn't back down, then
scary!
the fight begins. I think you can probably guess what's gonna happen next, though. Watch out, watch out, watch out! Just like Hercules beetles, stag beetles aren't carnivorous, so it just leaves you alone after it's
Okay,
broken
so
your back.
another whack beetle.
But
I'm not worried about
it
it.
must be quite hard to get the food when you're blocked by these things all the time. Another stag beetle species known as Darwin's beetle is famous for their treetop battles during
Those are
mating
like they be
season. While
boxing,
fighting
dog.
For a mate, they use their mandibles to hook under their opponent's wing covers for leverage to yeet them off the tree. Ow. In reality, though, the stag beetle's jaws look a lot worse than they actually are. They
What's that
can
mean?
only
Oh.
pinch and not bite, so they're not actually that painful.
Whack beetle. Give me something that can
Challenger
box.
10.
Give me something that can box.
Imposter beetles. The antness
Like, he's not boxing nothing. This thing could hide on any piece of wood, bro. Yo, this could hide on some people's kitchen cabinets. I hope y'all walk downstairs and there's 12 of these just chilling on either your wooden floor or y'all brown couch or y'all kitchen cabinets, bro. I hope you, when you walk to your car and you sit inside with your brown interior, this is just blending in somewhere.
beetle looks kinda cute with its fluffy antenna and chunky build. But don't be fooled, they're the most devious critters on this list.
No, they're not.
It all starts when the antness beetle comes across a worker ant. Oh, come on. The beetle secretes pheromones, which the ants go crazy for. And at the same time, they also use an acoustic mechanism to imitate the sounds.
I thought it looked like that Pokemon. I thought it looked like it. It's one of the first Pokemon you fight in like Diamond and Pearl or 4th gen, but I can't remember the name of it. I thought it looked similar. I gotta find what it's called. Cricketune? You're right, it's Cricketune. This is what it reminded me of. That thing was annoying early game. I'm thinking more of Kricketot though. I think Kricketot was the one you actually run into. Kricketot was annoying, bro. But these are a cricket. These aren't beetles. Let me look up beetle Pokemon. Oh yeah, these are ugly. Oh yeah, I'm not looking at beetle Pokemon no more. Never mind.
Of a queen ant. It smells like an ant, it sounds like an ant, but it sure doesn't look like an ant.
Can
Must
it
be an
penetrate?
ant.
Can it penetrate like an
Beetle
ant?
waltzes right into the ant nest, where it's treated
Wow.
like royalty. It
What?
gets a free spa day as it receives plenty of grooming from the worker ants.
What?
It gets free babysitters as the ants feed and
It
care for all
manipulates
eggs
the
beetle
gnats?
lays, and it
I mean, the
also
ants.
Gets
I said
plenty of
gnats.
free meals as the beetle repays all the ants' kindness by
Eating them.
instead.
Yes.
Hey man, somebody keeps eating all our eggs. Who do you think it is? I don't know. I guess there is one thing the ants get out of this deal.
Those
though.
ants are
If
garbage.
A predator or ants from another colony try to invade, the beetle whips out its explosive butt spray to defend the
Like,
nest.
what do you mean,
Similar
bug
to the bumblebee
spray?
beetle.
It has a turret too? Why? The last
Challenger
beetle.
11. Blister beetles. Our final challenge.
Those sound like
Why
those
don't you
hurt.
give him a pat. He won't bite. Oh, okay then.
You touch it and it gives you blisters.
Looks like you
Right,
didn't
that makes
take
sense.
Nature 101. If it's got bright spots, don't touch it. Blister beetles
Is that
produce
what
a
it's so-
toxic
is that-
chemical
is that
in their
real?
bug blood called cantharidin, which causes painful welts and blisters to form all over your skin
Great.
upon contact. Many
Great.
species are aposematic, meaning they have bright colors on them to deter predators. Nice.
Right. Okay. Where's the bright colors on this one? The red? Like there's not much bright about this. This isn't bright at all. It just has contrast.
Of them to warn you, but not all of them though. Blisters form after an hour or so, and in most cases heal in about a week. But
Oh,
if
at
you
least they
decide
heal.
to crush the beetles up into a powder and eat them that way instead, you'd feel severe stomach pain and nausea, followed by blisters in your mouth and throat. Depending on how many you ate, in a few hours you might have kidney damage.
Why are you eating a bunch
Could
of
even die
them?
from organ failure.
Why are you
How did
eating so
people
many?
Find this out? Well, it's said that the ancient Romans and Greeks thought it was an aphrodisiac because apparently being on the brink of organ failure felt like arousal to them.
You're telling me them dang near having explosive diarrhea, they thought that's what pleasure felt like. They're freaked. They might actually be freaked out. Not might, they are definitely freaked out.
In the modern world, however, blister beetles are huge pests. They eat the leaves off of crops like potatoes and tomatoes,
great.
and even worse, they can get into the food source of livestock, like hay for horses. Who do you think would win? One horse or a couple of stinky beetles? Well,
horse.
ingesting just 4 grams of blister beetles can actually be fatal for the horse. I guess technically
You're telling me the horse is like 8,000 pounds of pure muscle and it can't take 4 beetles? Yeah, get the horses out of here.
there was no winner in that fight though. Apart from the chemical defenses, blister beetles don't have much going for them. They've got small mandibles that aren't very good at biting, and their exoskeleton is pretty weak. Maybe this is a fight you can actually win.
I mean, we could win most of them. Great,
Maybe not.
great.
The collection's finally complete. Now, I know what you're all thinking. What kind of beetle are you, doggo?
What?
Well,
Oh,
how
no,
did you
that's-
know?
What? No, I wasn't thinking that. What type of plot line is this? Right, okay. You're burnt, and now what are you turning into? You're turning into a
See ya next time.
amazing video, dumb doggo. I have learned that beetles are, for some reason, extremely diverse. None of them want to look like each other, and they're very freaking ugly. The deeper you go, the creepier prehistoric oceans get. Talk to me.
Prehistoric Ocean wasn't just dangerous. It was a liquid horror show where nightmare creatures with giant eyes stalked through eternal darkness. And some of
Yes.
these monsters are still alive today.
And we're gonna see which ones I could take on, right? Because I feel like it wouldn't make sense if I don't like let y'all know where my talents lie on physical capabilities throughout all these monsters, ocean
Looking in
beast.
places we've barely explored. Look, we think the ocean today is scary, which, fair enough, it's got great whites and giant squids and whatever else is
Where's the great blacks at?
down there that we haven't found yet. But prehistoric oceans, those were on a whole different level of nope. Picture this, you're in
I'm
water
picturing.
so deep that sunlight gave up trying to reach you about
Oh,
half
yeah.
a mile ago.
I'm picturing
The
it.
pressure would crush you instantly.
Oh.
The temperature is just above freezing. And in this pitch black, bone-crushing void, things were living. And not just living, they were thriving. Getting weird, getting big, and getting really, really good at
Getting
killing
weird and getting big. What type of party have we walked into?
stuff. See, back then, the deep ocean was where evolution went completely off the rails. No sunlight meant no plants, so everything down there had to get creative
Dog, what the heck is this monstrosity?
about dinner. Some grew massive eyes to catch the tiniest hint of light. Others just said screw it and went blind altogether. A few decided to even make their own light and wave it around like some kind
Yep.
of underwater.
Yeah, which is raw. Like, when I really think about it, like, animals who make their own light, like the lightning bugs and the fish, that's crazy.
Killer with a flashlight. And the really messed up part, these weren't just random monsters
like,
that
what
showed
is
up
that?
for a few million years and then died out. In fact, they were already ancient when dinosaurs were still figuring out how to walk upright. And here's what really gets me. We only know about the ones that left fossils. most deep sea creatures just dissolve when they die. Their
Yep.
shells get eaten by acid and they vanish without a trace. So for every horrifying prehistoric sea monster that we found,
There's
there's
probably like
a
300
dozen
more.
worse ones
Yeah.
that we'll never even know existed. Like imagine there are 12 creatures out there
Like, imagine this is real, like an actual humanoid fish. Oh man, that
even
would be
more
so hard.
terrifying than the Megalodon. Deep Ocean back then was essentially a horror movie that ran for 500 million years, starring creatures that would make H.P. Lovecraft throw up, giant eyes staring through eternal darkness, teeth that don't fit in mouths.
why- like,
things
stop
that
showing
haven't
that
changed
pig.
Their murder strategy since before your great times a million grandmother was even a twinkle in
Oh,
some primordial
Palava
soup.
salmon.
Meet
Like,
the Ophthalmosaurus.
Yeah,
this
right.
thing lived 150 million years ago
He
and
kinda
had
cute.
eyes the size of dinner plates. Not small dinner plates either. We're talking full-sized, fancy restaurant dinner plates.
Man, he's so
Each
adorable.
eyeball was 9 inches across, which is bigger than
9
most
inches?
basketballs.
That's huge.
Now, you might be thinking, oh, big eyes, so what? Well, those massive eyes weren't just for looking pretty. They were for seeing in complete darkness while diving deeper than most nuclear submarines go today. This
What?
reptile could hold its breath for over 20 minutes and dive over 3,000
Hold its
feet
breath?
down into water so dark
Wait,
you couldn't
but it's
see
a
your
fish.
hand in front of your face.
But it's a
Why
fish.
would anything want to do that though?
No, but it's a fish. So what do you mean by hold its breath?
Well, simple.
Like a dolphin?
Dinner was down there. The weirdest part is how good it was at this job. While other marine reptiles were splashing around in shallow water eating fish, Ophthalmosaurus was down there in the void.
Oh, he
using
was
those
in- he was
massive
getting
eyes
action.
To spot the faintest glimmer of bioluminescence. Picture something bigger than a dolphin, but built like a
Okay.
torpedo, with eyes so big they had to be reinforced with rings of bone just so they wouldn't collapse under the pressure.
I'm taking it on because I'm gonna punch it in his big eye. Like, that's a big eye for me to miss. Right before his beak touches me, I'm gonna be like, "Fire in the water," and he's gonna be like,
And it wasn't even the only one doing this. We found these things all over Europe. So apparently diving into the abyss to hunt tentacled monsters was a popular career choice back then.
Is he
which
getting
tells you
touched?
something about how messed up the Jurassic oceans really were. But what if you didn't even need massive eyes to be a nightmare? Phosphorus
Oh, I
was
mean-
only 12 feet long. In the world of prehistoric sea monsters,
12 feet. That's 12 feet long. That's more than 2 of me. And his eyes are small. I
only
need to think
12
about this
feet
one.
long. In the world of prehistoric sea monsters, that's basically a minnow. But here's the thing about this particular minnow. It had forward-facing eyes. You know what else has forward-facing eyes? Owls, hawks, things that hunt and kill other things for a living. Most reptiles have eyes on the sides of their heads because they spend their time trying
Running
to get
away.
eaten.
Yeah.
Phosphorus, this guy had
He's
both
on the
eyes pointing
prowl.
straight ahead.
He's just like
Depth
me in the
perception that would
ocean.
make a sniper jealous.
Yo, I might not be able to take him out because he's just a better me since he built for the. Okay.
And those eyes were huge. Not Ophthalmosaurus huge, but big enough that they probably took up half its skull. So I just think this little monster was nocturnal. While all the big scary mosasaurs were sleeping off
Is that
their
not
day of
just a
terrorizing
T-Rex
everything
in the
sight,
water?
Phosphosaurus was just getting started. It would cruise through the dark waters, using those precision-guided eyes to pick off glowing lanternfish and squid that thought they were safe in the night. The really twisted part is how good it was at this job. We're talking about a reptile that figured out how to be an underwater owl 70 million years before actual owls even existed. It wasn't
See, I'm
fast
a man
efficient,
before his time. Is that not meat, bro? My favorite underwater creature, bro.
big prey in broad daylight, so it just waited until dark and became the ocean's first serial killer. And get this, it lived in Japan. So while T-Rex was stomping around on land, the waters off prehistoric Japan were being stalked by this small, precise killer with
Yeah.
giant forward-facing eyes.
Yeah.
Just cruising through the darkness, picking off anything dumb enough to light itself up.
Talk.
Talk about evolutionary specialization. Most
Talk to
mosasaurs
me.
were built like buses. This one was built like a scalpel. And of course, some deep sea killers took a more direct approach. Viperfish
viper-
have teeth so
That could never be me. Look at that ugly thing. First off, look at it. I'm catching it like this, and then I'm gonna bite the back of it to let it know who's boss. I can, man, disgusting fish.
so long they stick out of their mouth even when it's closed. These aren't normal teeth. These are straight up fangs that curve back toward the eyes
This can't be real. This literally looks fake. This looks like it's in a show.
because there's literally nowhere else.
Like,
for
the
them to
eyeballs
go.
look painted
this
on.
Fish has been perfecting its nightmare look for 15 million years, and honestly, it nailed it on the first try. The teeth are so big that if a human had proportional fangs, they would be dragging on the ground when you walked. But here's where it gets really messed up.
Talk to me.
Viperfish use these teeth by ramming into their prey at full speed. You'd think hitting something tooth first would mess up your skull pretty bad. Well, Viperfish thought of that too. They evolved a built-in crumple zone. The first bone behind their head is basically a shock absorber that keeps their brain from turning into soup every
So it just
time they
goes
spear
headbutting
something.
things.
So
It
this
must have been a
fish just
football
hangs out
player
in
in
the
this-
dark, completely motionless,
in this
waiting
current
for
light.
something to swim by. Then it fires itself forward and impales whatever was unlucky enough to be in the neighborhood. There's no chase scene, there's no fancy hunting strategy, just pure
That's
brutal,
not me.
lethal
That's not me.
efficiency.
But how would I get that? So if it's attacking off of first movement, I'm gonna just move faster than it and then catch it.
They do
Because
this
it's easy to
while
see.
glowing. Viperfish have lights all along their
See, it
belly
has
to
lights on
camouflage
them.
themselves from below, and a little fish lure on their back to attract prey from above. So they're basically a floating death trap with a neon sign that says free food here. And they're still doing this today. Right now, somewhere in the deep ocean, a viperfish is hanging perfectly still with its mouth full
It
of
is
fangs,
not
waiting
moving,
for
bruh.
dinner to come
Like,
close
it
enough
really
to
is not
murder.
moving a
They've
muscle.
been at it for millions of years, and they're not going to be stopping anytime soon. And they are really scary, but they're not that big compared to the goblin shark, which is also still around.
I see why it's called a goblin with that nostril. Oh my God, that schnauzer. How does that nose help it in evolution, bro? Please tell me. If it comes after me, I'ma just grab its nose and then it won't be able to reach me with its mouth.
Today. The goblin shark looks like someone tried to design a shark, but had only ever had a description from someone who'd never seen one. Pink skin, flabby body, and a snout that looks like it belongs on a different animal entirely. But that's not even the scary part. The scary part is what happens when it opens its mouth. The goblin shark can shoot its entire jaw forward about a foot outside its head. Just boom. Suddenly, there's a
Why do fish just camp beside their predators? Like, that just pisses me off so badly.
mouth where no mouth should be, full of long needle teeth grabbing whatever was unlucky enough to be nearby.
I'm telling you, y'all don't want to see me be a fish, bro. I'm taking over the ocean, bro. No matter if I'm Nemo or a great white, bro. I promise you I'm taking over the ocean. The survival instincts of these fish is ridiculous.
This thing has been doing this exact same strategy for 125 million years. We know this because we keep finding fossil goblin sharks that look exactly the same as the ones swimming around today.
They've been ugly
everything
for
else is
millions of
evolving and changing
years.
and trying new things, the goblin shark was just
You know
sitting
how crazy it is to be ugly for millions of years, bro? Millions. You know what's crazy? Like, someone looks in the mirror and they're like, I'm the best looking member of my family and I'm ugly. Does that mean my whole bloodline just was ugly for millions of years? Is that how that works? Can a whole bloodline be cursed?
there going, nah, I'm good. This is working fine for me. And why would it change? It lives so deep that nothing bothers it. It just floats around in the dark, waiting for something to swim close enough to its face. Then it fires that jaw out and drags dinner back into its mouth. No chasing, no fighting. just
like that
pure
fish is literally
mechanical
just camping right
efficiency.
beside
The
him. Like,
weirdest
you
part is
asked for that.
We barely ever see them
'Cause
They
they're
live
ugly.
so deep and are so rare that most people who study sharks for a living have never even seen a living one. But
And they're
down
ugly.
there right now, drifting through the darkness with their extendable nightmare.
Oh, like, get it
mouths,
out my
doing
face,
the exact
please.
same thing
I've
they've
seen
been doing
enough.
since before grass existed.
I've seen
Speaking
enough.
of sharks, there's another nightmare shark still living today. Frilled sharks look normal until you get up close.
Where's your
Then
teeth
you
at?
realize this thing has 300 teeth arranged in
Oh my goodness. I'm not gonna lie, his mouth makes me uncomfortable. Look at the teeth as it goes there. Oh my goodness, bro.
thing has 300 teeth arranged in 25 rows, and every single one of them is shaped like a tiny trident.
Okay, so you need to make sure that he doesn't get a hold of you, because he gets a hold of you, you're not getting out. So what I'm probably gonna do is, like, I'm gonna wait for him, I'm gonna stalk him and wait for him to come after me. And as he's launching his mouth at me, I'm gonna push him, I'm gonna hit him with one of these, push him up, and then I'm gonna grab him with my grippers, right? And I'm probably gonna grow my nails out so I can really stab into him, and I'm gonna grab him like that, take a bite at him from this backside, easy.
When I say tiny, I mean each tooth is still big enough to do some serious damage. This shark is basically a 6-foot long swimming mouth that's been practicing the same routine for 80 billion years. It moves through the water like an eel, all wavy and smooth until something gets too close. Then it strikes forward and swallows prey that's half its own size. Whole. No chewing, no tearing it apart, just straight down the hatch. The really disturbing part is how good it is at hiding. Frilled sharks live in caves and
How do they breed? No, because I'm just really curious, because these animals have to breed to continue, and they're very ugly. So, like, why would they want to keep breeding with each other? Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if I was one of these fish and I saw another fish like that, I'd be like, ugh.
day. then come out at night to hunt. They're almost never seen
That looks like a mole rat. Can we please keep them in the water?
surface, so for most of human history, we had no idea they existed. We just kept finding their teeth in ancient rock and assuming they were extinct. Then, in the 1800s, some unlucky fishermen pulled one up and everyone realized these things never left. They've been down there this whole time, slithering through underwater caves and swallowing squid whole while the rest of the world moved on without them.
Like
Here's what really
fish
gets
look
me.
so
They're
uncanny.
still doing it. Right now, somewhere in the deep Atlantic, a frilled shark is probably coiled up in some dark crevice.
Like, they
waiting
look
for
so
night we can go hunt with the
uncanny,
same
dog.
300-tooth mouth design that worked perfectly.
He has a lot of hyperpigmentation. He doesn't do his skincare like at all. Well, I know my skin isn't perfect, but man, you could try to take care of your skin a little bit more than that, bro. Like, come on.
Fine when dinosaurs were still walking around. This creature was so good at its job that evolution looked at this 80 million years ago and said, yeah, that's terrifying enough, and just kept it the same way. But some deep sea monsters found even stranger solutions in
Anglerfish,
evolution.
the most famous ugly fish of all time. Blobfish, one of the most famous fishes of all time though, bro.
Female anglerfish carry around their own personal fishing rod with a glowing lure on the end. They sit perfectly still in total darkness, waving this little light around until something swims over to investigate. Then they open their mouth and swallow whatever was dumb enough to fall for the oldest trick in the book. That's not the weird part though. The weird part is what happens when a male anglerfish finds a female. He bites onto her and then never lets go. Ever. In fact, his mouth fuses to her skin, his blood vessels connect to hers, and he basically becomes a permanent sperm-producing tumor on the side of her body. This has been going on for 50 million years, by the way.
Like, genuinely one of the ugliest things you could have ever shown me. There was no need to spread this pic at all.
These things are ancient. That was 50 billion years of males biting onto females and becoming living, breathing,
Why is eyelashes so long?
reproductive organs. The females are totally fine with this arrangement because finding a mate in the endless black void of the deep ocean is basically impossible otherwise, just like my dating life. The male doesn't even have a functioning digestive system once he attaches. He just hangs there, getting all his nutrients from the female's bloodstream, waiting for her to need his services. Some females have multiple males attached at once, which means they're swimming around with several zombie boyfriends grafted to their
Swimming around with a
bodies.
harem on them
Evolution
back.
looked at the problem of finding mates in infinite darkness and said, you know what, let's just make all the males into parasites. And it works so well that there are now dozens of different anglerfish species, all
I
doing the
don't
exact same
need to see these
horrifying
dirty-
thing.
these
The
dirty
female does
fish.
all the hunting, all the surviving, all the work, while carrying around what are essentially biological sperm banks that used to be an independent fish. It's the most one-sided relationship in the animal kingdom, and for some reason, both parties seem completely happy with it. But anglerfish weren't the first to thrive in
Oh,
impossible
great.
places.
Okay,
To
now
find
we're
that
getting in. Now we're getting to disgustingness, tistyism, bro. Oh my god.
creature, we need to go back to the beginning.
Oh,
430 billion years ago, the ocean floor was splitting open and spewing out water so hot it should have killed everything for miles around. Instead, worms moved in and built cities. Now, these weren't
Everything
normal
litty,
worms. They were tube worms that figured out how to live next to underwater volcanoes by making friends with bacteria.
I can't tell what's the
Bacteria would
worm
eat
what's
the
not, but
poisonous
I'm feeling
chemicals coming out of
uncomfortable.
the vents, and the worms would eat the bacteria. Everyone was happy except for anything that tried to live anywhere else on the sea floor, because it was basically a chemical wasteland. We know this happened because we keep finding fossilized
They're finding cigarettes?
worm tubes in ancient rocks that formed around these volcanic
Worm
vents.
tubes,
Thousands of
yeah.
tubes all clustered together around
Yo, I bet you they go so hard on a chain though. You cut them up a little bit, put them on a chain. Ugh.
what used to be black smokers shooting out 700-degree water. The worms had no eyes, no mouths, and no way to catch food on their own. They just sat there in their tubes, letting their bacterial roommates
Just praying
do all
for the
work.
best.
In
Like-
fact, they're doing the exact same setup in the exact
As the
same
anglerfish.
places, with the
Oh.
exact same species of bacteria. 400 million years later, and tube worms are still the only things tough enough to live right next to
Like
underwater
what the
lava.
heck? Okay, what is this? Is this the bacteria or is this the tube worm? This is no, I'm not liking this at all, but they look like they might taste good.
Geysers. The really wild part is that these vent sites don't last very long. The volcanoes shut off, The chemistry changes, and the whole community has to pack up and find a new vent somewhere else. But somehow, these worms have been playing this game of volcanic musical chairs for nearly 500 million years. Most creatures spend their time trying to avoid getting cooked alive. Tube worms spent 430 million years perfecting the art of living inside a natural
I wonder
pressure
if
cooker
tube
and
worms were
turning
real people
poison
if they were like
into dinner.
anime.
And speaking of ancient survivors, some fish took hiding to ridiculous extremes. In 1938, a museum curator got a phone call about a weird fish that had been caught off the coast
I thought a fish caught her. I'm sitting here like, since when have fish learned how to dial?
of South Africa. She went to look at it and immediately knew she was staring at something that was supposed to be extinct for 66 million years. The Khaleesians
How did
had
you
been
know that
playing
off a
the
rip?
ultimate game of hide and seek. While everyone else was dealing with asteroid impacts and ice ages and whatever other disasters were happening on the surface, Khaleesians just moved into some deep underwater caves and decided to sit this whole modern era thing out. Scientists have
Bro
been
just
finding
chills and
Khaleesian
vibes for
fossils
millions of
decades,
years.
going all the way back to fish that lived 360 billion
Oh, like, look at the size of the head of this fish, man. I might need at least 2 of me to take this one off.
years ago. They figured these things died out with the dinosaurs. Turns out they just got really good at avoiding people. They were hanging out in caves 600 feet down, coming out at night to hunt, and basically living the exact same lifestyle their great
They kinda look cool, though, besides their face.
Since before trees existed. The fish that got caught in 1938 caused such a big deal that they put out a reward for anyone who could find another one.
They literally said, hey, this fish might be extinct. If you find another one, I'll give you 20 bands. Like, this is how things go extinct, dog. 100 pounds. If y'all find this fish that should have been extinct. Like, that's why we don't have good things.
In fact, it took 14 years to find a second fish that had
Wow.
supposedly been extinct since the Cretaceous period.
Wow.
That's some next level hiding skills right there. And when they finally studied living coelacanths, they found out these fish hadn't bothered to evolve much of anything in all that time. Same weird fins, same weird skulls, and the same weird way of giving birth to live babies instead of laying eggs. So while everything else was evolving, adapting, and trying new things,
They just
coelacanths
vibing.
were in their caves going, nah, I'm good, I'll see you in a couple million years. But other ancient creatures took a different
Sea
approach
lilies.
to survival in the oceans. Imagine walking through a forest where every single tree is actually an animal. Well, that's what the ancient sea floor looked like when
I mean-
sea lilies were running the show. These things grew 60 feet tall and swayed in the current with their
60
feathery
feet.
arms
60 feet tall. 60. Right. See, okay.
spread out to catch
Yeah.
food floating
Yeah.
by. They weren't lilies and they weren't plants. They were animals that just happened to look like underwater flowers.
So like a
And they
Venus
covered the ocean
flytrap.
floor in dense forests that stretched for miles.
They're the OG aquatic fly trap. Mmm.
Some of these underwater trees were taller than a 6-story building. All of them stuck to the seafloor by their roots and waving their arms around trying to catch dinner. The crazy part is how successful this strategy was. For hundreds of millions of years, being a giant underwater flower was apparently the way to go. Sea lily fossils are so common that entire limestone cliffs are made out of nothing but their broken stems
That's
and
right.
arms. Literally whole mountains of dead sea lily parts. Most of them got wiped out during the big extinction at the end of the Permian period,
No.
but a few species said, you know what, we're just
That just
gonna
looks like
move
an
deeper,"
underwater
and they kept doing
spider.
their thing in the abyss. We didn't even know they were still alive until the 1800s when someone finally dragged one up from the deep ocean. Today, there are still sea lilies down there, doing the exact same thing they've been doing for 300 billion years, standing around on the seafloor, waving
Doing
their arms
nothing.
in the current, catching whatever floats by.
They're just
They're
doing
not as tall as they
nothing.
used to be, and there aren't nearly as many of them, but they're still out there being living flowers on the bottom of the ocean. Talk about sticking with what works. Now we're about to talk about my favorite prehistoric marine reptile, the Basilosaurus.
Is this an underwater giraffe? Why is his neck so long? This is easy claps for me. I've been completely forgetting the fact that I'm supposed to be killing. Okay, how would I kill the anglerfish? I'm grabbing this light and twisting it in a circle, bro. I'm not tweaking on the anglerfish, whatever. That stupid fish. Then the fish after that, the one that had different colors, it hid for millions of years. I'm not worried about something that doesn't want no smoke. And sea lilies, they're underground flowers. I'm eating those. Now this Apocalipsosaurus, there is a small problem with this. It's purely because of how big it is, but that neck, I'm tearing that thing up. That neck is too long. He won't be able to figure out where I am. I'm gonna just be hiding on that neck. I'm gonna be pounding that neck, boy.
Abyssosaurus literally means bottomless lizard, which is probably the most metal name any prehistoric
What does that
reptile ever
mean?
got. And unlike most dinosaur names that sound way cooler than the actual animal, this one earned it. This thing was a plesiosaur that looked at the deep ocean, decided
He's like the aura sea creature. He trying to spook you. Boo. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so scared. Give me that neck.
that's where it wanted to live permanently. Not just visit for hunting trips, but full-time residency in the abyss. So it evolved the heaviest bones of any marine reptile ever found. Dense, thick bones that worked as built-in weights to drag it down into the darkness. Most marine reptiles had lightweight bones to help them float and swim efficiently.
He didn't want that.
Abyssosaurus went the opposite direction.
Yeah, he didn't want that.
Basically turned its skeleton into a lead vest. It wanted to sink, and it wanted to stay sunk. This
and
thing
wanted to
had
get
lungs
bit
the size
too.
of barrels to hold enough air for extended deep dives. Then it would just drop like a rock into water so deep that the pressure would crush a human instantly. Down
Not
there
me.
in the total darkness, it would cruise just
Like, I hate when they refer to like a human. Like, I'm not just a human, bro. I'm a big dog.
or with those massive eyes scanning for anything dumb enough to be wandering around in the void. Small head, long neck, perfect for darting forward and grabbing squid or fish before they knew what hit them. And this wasn't just some weird experiment that lasted a few thousand years. Abyssosaurus was doing this for millions of years in the early Cretaceous. While other plesiosaurs were splashing around in shallow
that's a
lagoons,
nasty looking
this one was hanging
dinosaur.
out in the deepest, darkest parts of the
A
ocean.
nasty looking
Living
dinosaur,
a
bro.
lifestyle that wouldn't be out of place in a horror movie. The name says it all. Bottomless lizard. It's also got like the coolest name of any dinosaur out there. It's a marine reptile, but it's got the similar naming structure as
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
dinosaurs. It
There's
literally
not many
went to
names
the
cooler
bottom
than
and
that.
it just said, "This is
Pterodactyl's
my
a
home
fire
now." Further
name,
north,
too.
Things got even weirder in the
What is
oceans.
this?
Ophthalmethol lived near the Arctic
No, that's a
Circle
Pokemon.
145 million
what is
years
his
ago.
body type?
Ophthalmethol lived near the Arctic
Oh,
Circle
brother.
145 million years ago.
Oh,
which meant
brother.
It had to deal with months of total darkness during the polar winter. Most reptiles would have called that a deal breaker. Ophthalmethol saw it as a business opportunity. This
Ophthalmethol.
plesiosaur had huge eyes that pointed straight up at the ceiling of the ocean. It spent its entire life staring at the surface, waiting for something to swim overhead so it could see the silhouette against whatever tiny bit of light was filtering down. When it found something up there, it would
That's
rise
just
up
a
from the bottom like some
ridiculously
kind of
long
underwater horror
neck.
movie monster and grab whatever was unlucky enough to be swimming above it. But here is the really weird part.
Talk to me.
Scientists have found rocks in this thing's stomach. Not fish bones, not squid beaks, but rocks. The name
He's a-
Ophthalmethol means eye of the north.
He's a rock type of guy. Like, Lord forbid a fish get a hobby.
Is pretty accurate considering it was basically a swimming eyeball that lived at the North Pole, but long before any of these monsters existed, something made a terrible decision.
A shrimp.
Trilobites had the best eyes in the ocean for 200 million years. They had compound eyes with perfect crystal lenses.
Yeah, I
that
don't
could
like
see
this.
better
What is this, like a
than
fly
most
eye, bro?
creatures
Like a
alive
spider
today.
eye?
Then some of them looked at the deep ocean and decided to throw all of it away. They just gave up sight entirely. They now had smooth blank spaces where their amazing eyes used to be. No pupils, no lenses, nothing. They voluntarily became blind and moved into the darkest parts of the ocean where they
Okay.
spent the next
I can easily stomp one of these out too. That last guy kind of scary, bro. I don't know. I might stay away from
100
him.
million years feeling around in the mud for dead things to eat. This wasn't some gradual evolutionary process either. These things had perfectly good eyes, then their descendants just didn't. It was like something decided that seeing was overrated and crawling around blind on the seafloor was a better lifestyle choice. Obviously, there was an advantage to it. That is the whole point of evolution, where new traits that emerge that are beneficial lead to the species surviving.
Like, look at all
So
these
there was a
exact
reason-
same animals with slight differences, and they all have different names, bro. Like, studying things like this has to be hell.
Apparently, it worked out pretty well for them because blind trilobites were everywhere in the deep ocean. Thousands of them all feeling their way around the darkness with their antennae, bumping into each other, stepping on dead fish, living their best lives without any idea what anything actually looked like. In fact, they survived multiple mass
You think-
extinctions this way.
You think they can learn Braille?
You can't see the asteroid coming, there's no point in worrying about it. The last trilobites on Earth were probably the blind deep sea ones, still crawling around in the mud, still feeling for food with their antennae.
I wonder.
completely unaware that they were the final members of one of the most successful
Oh, they're
animal groups in Earth's
dead.
history.
Dang, they can't learn
Sometimes
Braille.
ignorance really is bliss. But today's deep ocean has its own version of unstoppable
Giant
scavengers that look
isopod.
like creepy bugs. Giant isopods are what happens when you take
That's like
a
a-
regular pill bug and feed it nothing but protein powder.
Oh, I
and
thought that was like
steroids for 3 million
lobster or
years.
something.
These things are the size of footballs and can go 5 years without
That
eating.
is a lobster.
5 years.
5 years without eating? I think I want to go 5 years eating only it. Look at that. Like, how can you go 5 years for what?
That is nuts. They also look creepy as hell. There is a giant isopod in
This is like a boss, like a face of a boss in a horror game or some sort, bruh.
captivity that didn't eat
Or
for
like an
half a
NPC.
decade and then died. Probably just to prove a point to humans that we don't deserve to keep them. They live on the deep ocean floor where food is so scarce that when something finally dies and sinks down to their level, it's like Christmas morning. Hundreds of these massive ocean bugs will detect the smell from miles away and come swarming over to the carcass like the world's most disturbing family reunion. Once they find a dead whale or fish, they'll gorge themselves until they are so stuffed they can barely move.
Are they just
Literally,
laying
it
on
is
each
like
other?
Christmas dinner. Then they will just sit there for months, maybe years, slowly digesting their meal while waiting for the next thing to die and fall from above.
Nah, these
The
are
weirdest part
nasty.
is how good
Please
they
get
are
out my
at waiting.
face.
Most animals would starve to death in a few weeks without food. Giant isopods have turned waiting into an art form. They'll sit perfectly still on the sea floor, doing absolutely
Everything
nothing
about
for
this thing
longer
is
than
nasty
most
looking,
people
bro.
alive. And when they do finally
Please
encounter
move
a
it.
predator, they just roll up into a ball. and
Next
wait for it to
fish.
go away.
Next
No
fish.
running, no fighting, just full-on defensive.
Please,
mode until
next
the threat
fish.
gets bored and leaves. They're essentially the ocean's version of that friend who deals with problems by pretending they don't exist. 30 million years of evolution, and their survival strategy is eating once every few years and hiding from their problems.
That gotta be hard though, you know what I'm saying? You just living life. You're like, oh wait, been about half a decade, time to eat. And then go back to living life. Like, I bet you they have the best stories because all they do is just roam around, you know, enjoying life without having to worry about eating. They might actually have some good stories to tell. We should try to learn how to communicate with them. When we learn how to communicate with fish, they'll be able to let us know like what type of things are really in the ocean. You know what I mean? Like, what were they seeing? They've been around for millions of years and they can't speak a single word underwater. They can't make no clicks. They've been around for millions of years and they don't produce any sound. Like, what? So whales go and that's it?
But even those survivors look normal.
What the heck
compared
is this
to
giant-
what came
What is this? Diplomaticosaurus.
next.
Yeah, okay.
Scientists found a fossil that looked like someone had bent a giant squid shell into a paperclip and decided that was a perfectly reasonable way to live for 200 years. That's Diplomacerus, and yes, you heard that right. It lived for 200 years. This thing outlived entire
What?
dinosaurs known to live long, well shaped like office supplies.
Hold on, why were dinosaurs living for 100 years in the first place? Imagine them on a proper diet. Like, they were able to count their macros and things of that nature. They exercise, like, you know what I'm saying? They might be able to live for like 150. Imagine if they had medicine. Bro, if dinosaurs had medicine, they could have been pushing like 175. Because what, once we started learning about medicine and then we started learning about things that are healthy and unhealthy, human like life expectancy literally doubled. We doubled. Theirs could double. I think you send me back in time with the dinosaurs, I could literally double their lifespan. We can build enough dinosaurs that are like alive, you know what I'm saying? So since lifespans are getting doubled, that means more dinosaurs gonna be alive at one time. Then I get a group of them, I motivate a group of them, right? On some Urban type speech, and we send them all in a crater. That's gonna be where the asteroid lands and they block it. Yo, I'm onto something, bro. Send me back in time, bro. I'm gonna see if I can get some dinosaurs to help block the asteroid. Hold up.
There are very few things on Earth that can live longer than 200 years. I can only name like the Greenland shark off the top of my head. Not a lot of things have ever lived that long. Most ammonites curled their shells into tight spirals because that's efficient and makes sense. Diplomacerus looked at that design and said,
You look like a
what if I
trumpet.
just grew in a big U shape instead? And it proceeded to float around in the ancient ocean for 2 centuries, looking like a 10-foot tall paperclip with tentacles. The shell shape was so weird that when paleontologists first found these fossils, they thought they were looking at multiple different animals that had somehow gotten stuck together. Nobody could believe that one creature would voluntarily grow itself into that shape and then live with the consequences for 200 years.
That's so
But
ugly,
apparently
bro.
the
How do they
paperclip
breed?
lifestyle worked out great.
How do they breed?
Diplomacerus would float vertically in the water with its head hanging down from the bottom of the U, just hovering there and grabbing whatever swam by. And they did this for a very long time. The same individual ammonite floating
They
in the
could
same
be a
spot
stupid
shaped
too.
like a paperclip for longer than Canada has existed as a country. They counted the growth rings in the shell and found 200 of them, which means this
How did they
thing
breed,
was
though?
already ancient when it was still alive. Evolution spent millions of years perfecting the spiral shell design, then Diplomacerus showed up and decided to reinvent
This could definitely be a Pokemon. If this was a Pokemon, people would literally get mad at Pokemon for the design because they're gonna be like, oh, this is so stupid. Like, y'all are just like designing stupid things.
the wheel as a pretzel. Yet even that weirdness pales next to the ocean's
What is
first
that?
aliens, Charnia.
thought that was a-
565 million years ago, before
Never
there
mind.
were fish, before there were any sharks, before there were basically any animals you would recognize, the deep ocean floor was covered in things that looked like they'd been designed by aliens
Just
who
like
had
feathers.
never seen Earth life before. Charnia was a 2-meter tall feather made of living tissue that
Y'all didn't know I'm like that, huh? Just one more thing to remind you that I'm really like that. Come on now. No matter how much y'all gonna say I'm not, I just proved that I am. You're not like that. Y'all talking about some leaf. Come on, guys. Y'all didn't know the earth grew feathers, man.
had no mouth, no stomach, no eyes, and no way to move. It just stood there on the seafloor, swaying in the current, absorbing nutrients directly through its skin from the surrounding water.
Bro's life must have been
Tens of
boring.
millions of years. No predators existed yet, so nothing bothered it. No competition for food, so it didn't need to hunt. No reason to evolve quickly, so it stayed
Hell
exactly
vibes.
the same, doing
not
exactly
gonna lie.
nothing that for longer than complex life has existed anywhere else. These things covered the
And you know,
ancient
bro,
seafloor
it-
in vast
Like, it can't even do a money spread. It's just sitting there flowing in the ocean. They can't do a single money spread. Like, get this out of here.
thousands of them, all identical, all motionless, all just standing there absorbing chemicals from seawater while the rest of Earth figured out what evolution was supposed to be doing. They had fractal patterns built into their bodies that repeated at every level of magnification. Perfectly mathematical designs that wouldn't look out of place in a computer program.
Is that an Earth's butt plug? Y'all are not slick, man. Let's be so for real.
Except this was half a billion
That's
years
a
before
earthly butt
computers
plug,
or
bruh.
math or anything that should have been able to create patterns that precise even existed. When Charnia finally went extinct, it left no descendants. Nothing alive today is even remotely related to it. It was an
Dang.
evolutionary experiment that ran for 30 million years. Then
Yo,
it
it
completely
sucked.
vanished, leaving only fossils to prove it ever existed.
El Bozo.
The ocean's first complex life forms were alien feathered creatures with fractal patterns that fed by standing perfectly
El
still
Bozo.
and absorbing nutrients from them. Honestly, there are probably millions more of animal species even weirder we don't
Just-
even know
yeah,
about.
we don't
'Cause
know,
that is the
'cause
scary
they all
part
died.
about the prehistoric ancient ocean. There are so
And
many
left no
species we've found,
fossils.
and yet there are so many we haven't. There are probably monsters that once lived down there that we would think were aliens of how crazy they are. What do you think is still down there today?
Forget what's down there, man. I need them to find proof of dragons. I don't know if they have. I know they found something like maybe somewhat similar, but I want to confirm dragons so I can like do it, reverse engineer his DNA and raise one nowadays. And keep in mind, 99% of species haven't fossilized. Bozos. Doing the exact same thing they've been doing since before grass existed. I'll give them something to grass about. Amazing video, Spin O Snack. Disturbing mythical creatures you've never heard of.
Here are the most terrifying mythical creatures to ever exist.
Your mother. Oh my gosh. Oh, an intellectual genius. Woo! Hey, no one's ever got that one off before. No one's got it like me.
Or not exist, hopefully.
The Managal? Oh, I know the Managal was catching bodies based off of that name. Oh my
Mananagal
goodness.
is a monster
Mananagal?
originating from the Philippines, and its name roughly translates to one who separates itself.
Like he ripped his
It's
bottom
a
leg off?
fearsome and
His bottom half?
disgusting creature, usually resembling a disfigured old woman at first.
Okay.
Its name comes from its unpleasant habit of fully detaching its torso from its lower body, entrails hanging out all over the place, and then sprouting enormous bat wings and just flying away into the night to hunt for food.
That's odd.
What food, you ask?
Just kidding.
Well, during the hours of darkness, it will use its long proboscis-like
I mean, I'm
tongue to
I'm
suck
guessing
blood from
humans.
its human
That's what I was about to
victims,
say, like,
specifically
what else is gonna
targeting
get?
Newlyweds, lovers, newborn children, and
So she's hating on people who found true love in people who are in their youth because she's old, alone, and cranky. That's
grooms
nasty.
who were abandoned before marriage.
Grooms who were abandoned. So she's attacking everybody?
And it's even known to extract fetuses from the bodies of pregnant women.
Imagine you wake up middle of the night because your stomach getting some kicks and you're like, you know what, I just need to get some water. Yawn. Roll off the side of the bed, you're sitting up, and in front of you is a half old lady with a long tongue, and she hits you with the, I'm gonna fuck you. I'm gonna fuck you so good. And she just puts that tongue right into your stomach, and you just get sucked, and you're just like, ah!
What, you thought I was going to draw that, you desensitized freak? Nah. Here's a kitten instead.
Ew.
While it's hunting, the Mononongal makes a sort of tick-tick-ticking sound, and the farther away the sound
I used to
seems
have
be,
nightmares. I had this friend who was like, yeah, back in the day, there used to be these flying humanoid beasts who would come down and snatch kids and eat them. And then like 2 weeks later, I had that same nightmare. And then I was scrolling on YouTube and I saw something that kind of fit the description of what he was describing. And I'm like, bro, like ever since he told me that, now I'm getting spooked, look up in the sky, thinking someone's gonna come and snatch me.
the closer the creature actually is, in order to confuse its victims. During its nightly hunt, the creature's lower half is just left standing somewhere, and this tiny design flaw is its one weakness. If you want to kill the Mononongal, and let's face it, you probably do, you need to prevent the horrifying upper half from reuniting with its butt.
So basically you have to take the bottom half and give it infinite pleasure that it was never able to receive. And then you have to show it like that's the reason why these people want to be together forever. And then she finally understands like, oh, I just need a good eater. So instead of going around killing the best eaters, right? Instead of killing them and children, okay? Killing the best eaters and space children, I need to just go find me a good old man. So instead now she's visiting nursing home, trying to find the old men, but not the white ones with dementia who are racist. You know, not the white ones who are with dementia who wake up, they see a black nurse, they're like, oh no! Is that a nigga? Yo, nursing homes is one of the worst places to work at, dog. Nursing homes are terrible, bro, especially as a woman. Those old people be groping you. They be touching you and you can't do nothing about it because they're old and everyone's like, oh, they're so old, you can't do nothing about it. It's terrible, it's terrible, it's terrible.
I recommend burning the thing, but you can also use salt, ash, or even garlic to ward off the torso.
What do you mean
Kind
you
of like a
recommend?
vampire.
You ain't never
If the better
held
half of the
wonder
Mononongal
never had
hasn't
this video.
rejoined its severed ass by daybreak, it is believed to die. Thank goodness. Despite the world getting more modern by the day, sightings of
If I was in traffic like this, bro, I would cry. This is why I hate being in the city, bro. If I had to deal with anything like this, bro, I'm absolutely not. Imagine trying to come out from wherever this is. Yeah, Uber me.
world getting more modern by the day, sightings of these creatures continue to be reported, especially in the Visayan regions of the Philippines. Don't forget
They're
to
just
hit
seeing
that
bats.
subscribe button, or you might just get a visit from one of these gals tonight. Don't say I didn't warn you, cause I just did. If you thought that was
she
awful,
gonna-
hold on to your knives and
I'm gonna do something with her tongue,
torches,
alright.
because the
She better
Mononongal
wish she
is
don't bring her
actually the
tongue out
least
around
scary
me.
creature in this whole video, and
You better
things are
hope
about
she
to
don't
get
bring that
weird.
tongue out. She bring that tongue out around me, I'm gonna rub it around something. The Deadly Whispers.
Whistler, also called El Sibon, is different from the other creatures on this list.
Oh,
and
yeah.
his story is
Step,
something of a
step,
cautionary tale.
step.
Originally, this creature was an ordinary boy, and he was a spoiled brat who always got everything he wished for. One day,
Wow.
he told his father to go out and hunt a deer, his favorite meat, to eat for dinner. His
Okay.
father did not return with a deer. In fact, he returned from the hunt with nothing at all.
dead body?
And
Oh.
so the boy killed his father and cut out his organs.
It's like if a king sends you out on a mission, you come back with nothing, and you get the death penalty immediately, bro. Oh, brother.
Which he gave to his mother and said, "Father has brought us some meat for dinner." Well, that escalated quickly. The boy's mother cooked the meat, but quickly realized what had happened.
This meat tastes familiar. This meat tastes familiar. It's his testes, bro. You ate cooked testes before?
The part of the story that I've just told you greatly varies between tellings, but the next part is always the same. The boy's family ties him to a post and whips him, and cleans his wounds with alcohol, chili peppers, and lemon juice. Ouch. They give him a sack of his father's remains, which they curse him to carry for eternity. Then 2 rabid,
that's kinda
starving
hard.
dogs are released upon him. The skeletal creature that came out of this terrible circumstance would be called El Sibon, or
So like, why didn't the dad just fight back? Or did he just get caught off guard?
The deadly
Probably
whistler,
got caught off guard.
standing at about 6 meters tall and creaking about the
6 meters? The kid grew forever? 6 meters. Imagine 2 shacks plus half a shack. That's basically what 6 meters is.
treetops
Right.
with its bag of bones. If you hear El Sibon whistling from nearby, it means you are in
What was that?
It-
I know I'm not tweaking, bro.
Sibon whistling from
No, I'm not letting this slide. You're not letting this slide by, man.
Oh my god, bro.
If you can read this Right. No, you spitting, bro. That was so hard.
nearby, it means you are in no danger. But if the whistling sounds distant, it means that your death is closer than you think.
No!
It's said that the whistler can appear by your house on certain nights and drop his sack to the ground.
What
to count
night,
the
though?
bones within,
Like, what certain
one
nights?
by one. If someone in the house hears the whistler outside, nothing bad will happen. However, if he spends the night counting unnoticed until dawn, someone in the house will die.
So if he's real sneaky with it, someone dies?
Their bones will be added to the bag. If you like this video so far, please don't forget to like this video.
Video's
and
amazing
if you
so
don't
far.
like it so far,
The knuckle choker? The knuckle...
the
The,
Naklavi is a sea creature demon
Naklavi?
coming from Orcadian folklore,
that's straight out of Attack on Titan?
from the islands of Orkney. No tales describe what it looks like when it's dwelling down in the depths, but an islander named Tamas claimed to have
He's an
encounter
Irish
with the
Scottish
thing
man.
and described its on-land appearance in impressive detail. According
Thoughts,
to
man?
Tamas, the Naklavi has a man's torso attached to the body of a horse, as
Yeah.
if it were a rider, except
Like
the
a fake
torso has
centaur.
no legs. It's just fused with the equine's back.
Yep.
The man's long arms can reach the ground from where he sits.
So he
and
can do
atop its
push-ups.
shoulders is an enormous head up to 3 feet in diameter.
3 feet? The average size head of y'all.
Oh, I forgot to mention that the
That thing
Naklavi has no
ugly.
skin, with
Right.
black blood pulsating through yellow veins. The horse's
Where'd
head
his
has an
skin go?
enormous gaping mouth that exudes toxic vapors, and one single eye burning like a red
Yuck.
flame. The creature's breath was thought to wilt crops, sicken livestock, and cause epidemics.
What if he's just misunderstood,
In
though?
1722, one of the islands of Orkney began the practice of burning seaweed for a number of boring reasons, including making soap and glass and improving soil for farming. The point is, the pungent smoke emitted by doing this is believed to have enraged the Naklavi and made it go on a wild rampage, causing plagues,
Let's keep it a buck, though. If we really want a one-on-one in the Naklavi, we knocking them out. We taking the Naklavi easily. Like if we ran the ones, you know what? If we ran the 2v1, me and you versus Naklavi, we clocking his.
destroying
Ooh.
crops and killing cattle and horses. This disaster seemed to spread to all of the islands in the business of burning seaweed. It's said that, like many sea-dwelling mythical creatures, the Naklavi can't cross borders of fresh water.
Of course
so
they
if you're
can.
ever being chased by it, just jump across a creek or something and hope for the best.
What about to start throwing
Up
water
next
at
on
it?
the list of disturbing.
If I just start spraying it with some Deer Park. Spray it with Dasani. If you spray with Dasani, it's out of there. He not surviving Dasani.
mythical creatures is
Right.
the Aztec civilization believed that before there
Aztecs.
was anything, there were these 4 god dudes named these lovely names,
Right. Mm-hmm. Yep.
which I can pronounce. I just don't feel like it right now.
Same, twin.
Using their godly powers, as gods do, these guys created the water, some more gods,
Right.
and most importantly, Cipactli, a sea monster
Cipactli,
existing on
that's
the
what he
cosmic
is.
scale that had an insatiable appetite for everything it could get its mouths on.
I'll let you know, bro. If I saw Sapakli, I'm peeing in the ocean. You're not about to. He gonna have to worry about this one right here.
This creature was so hungry all
What
the
the
time
heck is that?
every joint on its body possessed a different mouth.
Sukuna?
Elbow mouths, knee mouths, knuckle mouths, you name
Bro,
it.
trying to tongue you down from the knees. Oh, he's a freak.
This begs the question, if each joint has a mouth, and mouths themselves have joints, you know, for jaws and stuff, did the creature's mouths have mouths? And did those
What about his
mouths
stomachs?
have more mouths, and so on?
Like, what about his
as the
stomach,
gods
though?
continued on with the creation of everything, they realized they had a problem. Everything they made would just fall into the ocean and get eaten by Cipactli.
Right.
So, being gods, they decided they should probably do something about this. But
They
it
just-
wasn't
they
as
just
easy
playing
as just
creative
snapping
world
their
right
fingers
now.
and fixing the whole thing. Cipactli was so powerful, so enormous, and so hungry that it took all 4 of the original gods to take him down, and one of them
Cipactli
lost
like
a foot
that?
in the process. Eventually, though,
Cipactli
they
a
did manage
dog.
to kill him by separating his body into 4 sections, one for each compass direction. Using Cipactli's body, they created the entire world. The creature's head became the 13 heavens, its midsection was crafted into the earth, and its
So we're walking on Cipactli. We're walking on Cipactli,
tail
right?
became the underworld. The last mythical creature on this list is by far the scariest of all. If you've heard of it, you know all too well that the people who
you're-
believe in it are
Wendigos.
afraid to even utter its name. This is, of course, the
I was so close, Skinwalker. Okay.
The stories of skinwalkers originate from Navajo culture, an indigenous people of the southwestern United States. You've probably seen memes and videos all over the internet of creepy animals and dudes in spooky costumes hiding in the trees with captions like,
Right.
"Guys, I found a skinwalker, ah!" But these could not be further from the reality of these creatures. In Navajo culture, there are people that practice medicine and types of magic for the benefit of the community.
I think we can one-on-one a Skinwalker. I think if Skinwalkers were really like that, we wouldn't be able to one-on-one them. They wouldn't be so scared. But I think we can take one. I think we can eat one up real good.
As healers or medicine men, they may learn about
In fact, I want a Skinwalker to look like you, so I have more motivation to beat the brakes off of it.
magic for the purpose of protecting against evil. Witches are essentially the opposite of these healers, their dark reflection, if you will. Oftentimes they start out as medicine men, but they use their knowledge of evil magic to hurt others.
Yeah, be
and they
poisoning
use the
things.
corpses of humans to do their work. They make their tools from human bones
Oh.
and use parts of the body to make potions, which they use to kill or hurt others.
Oh, okay, witches.
Become a skinwalker,
Go on,
a witch
cray.
must kill a close family member, preferably a sibling.
Wow.
This gives them the ability to shapeshift into different animals.
So a Skinwalker is a witch who killed a close fam. Okay. Okay. I didn't know they had a backstory like that. But that's probably how they know we could run the ones with them, because they're just a normal person.
Usually predatory animals like bears, coyotes, and wolves, but they can assume the shape of any creature. They choose their shape based on the abilities they need to do their evil work, such as claws, stealth, speed, or strength. When in human form, the
If they
skinwalker
want
wears the
speed, they
skin
shouldn't go rabbit.
of the animal they transform into, and their eyes look like those of that animal. And when in animal form, their eyes look human. By day, these witches walk among the humans of their tribe unnoticed.
Right.
But at night, they transform to cause illness, death, and destruction wherever they go. They can
The
even
boy who
read
cried
minds and
wolf.
control their victims to do their
Read
bidding,
minds?
and they're often blamed for causing all manner of mysterious mischief and trouble. My channel is still small
And that's
enough
why,
that I can
like, they were burning witches at the stake, you know?
pretty easily read every comment I get, so let me know, which of these horrifying mythical creatures do you think was truly the most disturbing? And
The most disturbing? I'm gonna have to go with half lady who wants to go eat pregnant people and eat babies. That's pretty disturbing. Skinwalkers, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Skinwalker is just chill. And this bro here, I mean, he's spooky looking, but he really not about nothing. The horse has one eye. If you don't just flick something in his eye, he also look like something out of a regular show too. And if Mordecai and Rigby can survive something like this, I can for sure. Horrifying mythical creatures you've never heard of.
here are the most terrifying mythical creatures to ever exist. Again.
Wendigo! I only know Wendigos because of Until Dawn. Speaking of Until Dawn, I'm about to eat potatoes until dawn.
Winters in the Great White North of Canada can be terrifyingly hostile.
No.
And for the native Algonquin
Canada.
people living there who relied on the wilderness for their next meal, starvation was a constantly looming danger.
Okay.
In times like these, when the natural food on the land is scarce, a human may be forced to make a grim yet simple choice. Succumb to death, pained by hunger,
Or eat your
a
friend.
fellow human and
Yeah.
be transformed into a Wendigo. The
Oh,
creatures are
if
described
you-
as looking
humans-
gaunt
interesting.
and emaciated, their gray, ash-colored skin stretched tightly over
I've
their
never
bones.
seen a Wendigo depicted as this. They've always been more humanoid. This looks more like a Wendigoose.
With lips tattered
Mustigo.
and bloody from feasting on human flesh, they stink with the odors of decay,
Ooh.
death, and corruption.
Now that would be freaky, bro. I would almost be scared to run the ones with him. But look at him. He's all skin and bones. He has no power to him.
And their hearts are solid ice. It's said that with every meal, the Wendigo would grow in proportion relative to the size of whatever it ate, so that they could never feel full. Their whole existence felt like they were constantly on the verge of
He kind of farming though. Hold on. He kind of, look at him. He farming like crazy.
starvation, forever craving the taste of the people they once lived alongside. Interestingly, Wendigo psychosis is actually a term used in modern psychology to describe intense cravings for human flesh and the paranoia
Wendigo psychosis?
that you could become a cannibal yourself. In our modern consumerist society,
Wow.
this isn't something most people have to worry about.
People are worried. People got some crazy intrusive thoughts. You might be with your kid on a stroller and someone glances at your child and they're just thinking like, oh, I want to eat that. Oh, imagine just throwing that child into the oven. Paprika, salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic. Oh, minced onions. Oh. But you have to keep it pushing.
But for native tribes in times of famine, it was a very real possibility that your next door neighbor and your next meal were one and the same.
Kuchisake Onna. What country is this out of? I don't want to make no guesses.
Kuchisake Onna is a little
Woo! I mean, perfect pronunciation on my end. Perfect. I mean, I am a bilingual, trilingual, come and mingle connoisseur. I really am. But goodness, I impress myself sometimes.
different from the other monsters on this list.
Awesome, man.
In most versions of her story, she was once the beautiful wife of a proud samurai. However, she grew lonely as her husband was always off at war, and so she began having affairs with other men in the Japanese town in which she lived.
Which is crazy because look, y'all think people were gone during war a long time now. You know what I'm saying? Some people be deployed, they deploy for 1 year or whatnot. That's overseas. When they were gone, her husband probably not coming back for like 3 years. Traveling alone is taking up at least 2-3 months. Like, golly.
When the samurai found out about this, he was outraged, and as punishment, he sliced the corners of her mouth open from ear to ear, and she died. But that is not where her story ended.
No, that's crazy.
For after her death, Kuchisake Onna returned as a vengeful
Oh my
spirit.
goodness.
She covers her face with a mask or other covering of some sort, and to most people appears as a completely normal, attractive
They've
young woman.
definitely made a horror
Clutched
game
in
about
her
this.
hand are razor-sharp scissors as she chooses her
They've
victim.
definitely made a horror game about
Kuchisake
this.
Onna might appear before you and ask you a simple question.
You want some dick?
Today? Which
What does that mean?
translates to, am I beautiful? If you answer no, she will kill you with her scissors. And if you answer yes, she will remove the mask
She
from her
said
face
8 out of
to
10.
reveal her mouth, sliced open from ear to ear in a horrifying, joyless smile. Kore demo? She
How about
asks,
now?
Or how about now?
Oh my goodness! I told you I'm a trilingual king! Oh my gosh, man, I really do this. Use the same one too. Oh my, I gotta throw my, hold up, like, ah!
How about now? If you answer no, or scream, or try to run, she will kill you.
Trying to
just as
run is
before.
hilarious.
And with her supernatural speed, there is no escape for a mere mortal like yourself. And if you tell her she is beautiful despite her disfigurement, then, using her scissors, she will cut your mouth to match her own.
So you don't win? Like you die regardless? Is 100% death? That's whack.
There are actually a few ways to survive an encounter with this creature.
Oh, talk to me.
In response to her questions, you can simply tell her that you're running late and had best be going, and she will politely bow and apologize, and you can go on your way. Alternatively, you can tell her that she is average looking and leave it at that. Unlike most big YouTubers, I still try to read each and every comment I get, so let me know what horrifying mythical creatures you'd like to see the next time I do one of these videos.
I don't have any off the top of my head. Black Annies? What about Black Nannies? Wait, no, that's not a terrifying mythical creature. My fault. Oh no. Black Anus. Black Anus.
English folklore describes Annis as an old, blue-faced woman with a single eye.
Wow.
Beneath a great oak tree, she lives in a cave that she carved herself out of the rocks using her deadly iron claws. On dark nights, she could
Poor
be found
thing.
hiding in her oak tree, waiting for an unsuspecting child from a nearby village to wander below.
You child
If
hunting?
no victims were forthcoming, Annis would go into the village and reach through open windows and snatch children straight out of
Imagine getting your child snatched by some random anus, bro. Like, go on, go live your life, bro. Stop, get your anus away from my child,
her
man.
beds. Once she had returned to her cave with her prey, she would skin the children with her iron talons and put their flesh aside for later use.
Like the
before
skin
slowly
stapler
devouring her flayed
from
victims.
that one horror game.
Then she would sew the skins together
Oh,
to
that's
make
kinda hard.
clothing for herself.
It would have been hard if like she was taking like grown men though. You know what I'm saying? Taking kids just makes it kind of you know what I mean? Like if she was taking grown men and then sewing them, that's kind of hard.
Black Annis was mostly just a story used to scare children into good behavior through paranoia and anxiety, but she was also more than that. Houses in the town she was believed to inhabit were intentionally built with smaller windows to stop her from reaching through, and an otherwise serious-minded man named John Hayrick wrote a full poem
He said and otherwise serious-minded. That means this is the only situation he's not serious in?
documenting the village's knowledge of the
crazy.
creature, fully believing in her existence himself. Here's the full poem if you'd like to pause and read.
When down the plain, the winding pathway falls from Grenfieldville to Leicester ancient walls. Nature of art with imitative power. Far in the glen has place Black Anus Bower. Why is her name Black Anus if she not black? She blue. Why can't she be Blue Anus? Or we just saving the word blue for waffles? I don't know, man. Krasu? Kirisu? I can't tell if that was an I
Coming from
read.
the folklore of Southeast Asia,
Talk
the
to me.
Krasu is said to be the demonic
I got it right the first time. I couldn't tell if it was an I beside it. It wasn't an I. Oh my. I'm so good at. She is really flying intestines and face. If the only thing she has is mouth, I know she give vicious head. Lock in, bro. I'm PG. Lock in.
spirit of a woman who committed various evil acts in her life, such as infidelity, murder, or
Ooh.
drinking the last of the chalky milk. After she dies, the woman's sins cause her to be reborn as the demonic Krasu, which appears as a woman during the day and can walk among humans unnoticed.
Right.
By night, however, the Krasu is able to detach its head from its body and fly off into the night with all of its internal organs
That's so
dangling
nasty.
from its neck. The heart, liver, lungs, stomach, intestines, and the rest all out on full display. The Krasu's favorite midnight snack is,
Bro.
unfortunately for you, the flesh of humans.
If you don't go and swing on, it's literally floating intestines. If you don't grab her intestines and start eating it, oh, she's coming at me with flying lungs. Like, snatch the lung off, man.
She'll fly around in search of unsuspecting
How
children.
is she
and when she
flying?
can get them, pregnant women, because it's a 2-for-1 special.
Why is she going after kids again?
Though sometimes she'll just extract the fetus and go. You can protect yourself from this creature by putting up some spiky fences or plants to guard your house, as the Krasu's dangling organs might get stuck in them. If the head cannot return to its body by daybreak, the creature will burn up in the sunlight.
She's a skeleton. Vitala?
The legendary Vitala are evil spirits coming from Hindu mythology. They're said to haunt cemeteries and, with no physical body of their own, they can take possession of human corpses in order to interact with our three-dimensional world.
that's OP.
Once they've acquired a body, they get up to all kinds of unsettling
that's
mischief, such as killing
nasty.
children, driving people mad, and causing miscarriages.
Everyone just hates pregnant women.
Basically a typical weekend's activities for me, but whatever. These spirits do evil things because they are the tormented human souls of those caught in the space between life and the afterlife,
Nah,
with nowhere to
man,
go
that's
from there
poor
unless
thing.
someone performs their funerary rites to set them free. However,
Oh,
most
man.
people are more inclined to try to capture these spirits, as existing outside the laws of space
Oh,
and
you want to capture them so you can train them and use them like Pokemon, or you want to train them in the laws of war so you can go attack the neighboring countries for their resources. I know who you are.
time, they have a vast knowledge of the past, present, and future, and deep insights into human nature, and so they make great slaves for sorcerers.
If they know all of that, how are they slaves? Shouldn't they be locked? Oh, I have all this knowledge, but they're still a slave. Cap.
As always, thank you very much for watching.
Amazing video. Just a rock in space. Wait, he made himself into the whatchamacallit. Aw, he's a demon.